recording.
Okay.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, P-chan. How are
¿Qué
you?
tal, Jab? We're doing fine. How about you?
Doing good. A bit tired. Just a little heads up for everybody that listens. We're kind of trying something new and recording in segments, so if things
Yeah.
feel out of whack at certain sections, it's because we are doing separate recordings and mashing them into one video.
Oh,
So,
yes.
P-chan, I know we
hmm
have a lot to discuss, but we're gonna try to start with Uzumaki.
Oh, yes. Let's go. Let's
You know,
go.
oh,
October here. October's here, and so are the creepy. So is the creepy, as you said.
mm-hmm.
So, so yes. Let's start with that one. All right. I gotta admit, I have watched like maybe one episode of this, the creators um animes before. I have
Yeah,
not watched any of his like, series prior to this one
mm-hmm.
that I started. But I have seen his work and I have like I said, I have seen like at least one episode or two there. And I mean it is its own, thing. And for a scary like type, I think it's very, very well done. Like it's very,
Yeah,
very well done in the aspect that it stays true to its culture,
mm-hmm.
Japanese. It's not per se anime creepy. It's like Japanese creepy, like historical like stories or legends or whatever. Like
Yeah. It's very
And I really, really like that. I know that I have known that people like his work because of that reason.
yeah.
So
I feel
then,
like for
mhm,
me, I'm going into this like blind. Like this is my first experience
me
to
too,
what he
me
has,
too.
and I gotta say like the people working on this really put the vibe like to the point.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it almost feels
It,
like they took all the manga panels and just kind of like animated the manga panels themselves.
yeah, which is legit when it's that type of animation manga. I don't know. It gives more of its creepiness, to tell the truth. Keeping it like that,
Yeah, because it just
keeping it
keeps it like
so.
black and white, and it's not.
Yes, it keeps it black and white, but it's still pretty well detailed. Like it's still pretty well
Mm-hmm.
give details. So yes,
I,
I've been
yeah, and
seeing
you know what also
um
adds to it, kind of like
mhm,
the music, right? Because the music I think
right, right,
does a lot to actually like
of course,
bring
of course.
the spooky vibes.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I was seeing in the marketing per se, or the or people buzzing around this anime,
Mm-hmm.
and they were really kind of pointing out the squirrels, this that pattern, and I
Yeah,
was like, oh man, like damn, this is crazy. That's a crazy little thing.
yeah. So
Um,
it's
and
like really good because like there's like swirls going around like infecting the town,
hmm
and it's
yeah,
like
because you seen that kind of like um like theme before, like the number 23. Did you ever hear about that movie about how like
no,
this man got addicted to the number 23,
no,
so he would see it everywhere. But it's like I just feel like there's been movies where like a pattern or like a number or like a specific thing, it's like cursed, right? And it creates all this kind of like
yeah,
chaos around it.
yeah.
So
So
we're seeing that this is like the
yeah, like
theme, for
I like
it.
how they like set it up too, because they were like things start happening in this town that were like a bit abnormal, right? With like people
Mm-hmm.
and like people don't really pay it that much mind to, but there's still like ways that that they're kind of like drawn to them, right? Like if you look at the water, like sometimes they'll see like whirlpools that weren't originally there, or like random tornadoes
Mm-hmm.
that just like pop out of nowhere, you know, with
Yeah.
the
So
swirls.
so we're definitely being thrown into the like this town, like this country town seems like it. If
Hmm.
anything, that some creepy creepy things are happening, and at least it's not only to you, like,
Hmm.
or at least it's the whole entire town, but it does seem like you said some get affected more but than others because some don't ignore it while others do,
Yeah,
and we can take
and
an
I think.
example of the father who
Hmm.
didn't just ignore it, but he was embracing it, like he wanted to become it,
Yeah, so it like
and
it basically like took over his life, right? He wanted there's
right.
which I don't know if you ever seen uh Gurren Lagann, but like
Yeah.
yeah, so like there also that like with all the spirals, right? It kind of like reminded me back of that, of like how like the spirals have like certain power even in that show as well, right? So it's kind of like this is kind of like taking that like spiral power, but like manifesting it into like evil.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely something evil. So yeah, and then this girl, you really want to wonder, or you really wonder how like they connect, or they differentiate, between the girl who got possessed by a spiral versus this man, right? That they wanted to become the spiral or something, so
Yeah, like the so that was like really interesting, right? Because like at first it was like we got like the little backstory for her, and it was just like a tiny crescent moon scar. Um,
right, right, right.
so it wasn't like fully there yet, right? But as soon as like more, it kept like growing in size, right, to the point where it became a whole ass spiral. And like the first one that noticed the strange feeling of spirals was Chuichi, like the guy whose father like wanted to become the spiral, which to
Right.
him he was like ready to book it out of there, right? He was like telling like his girlfriend, like, do you ever feel like just like
Mhm.
leaving town, right? It's like something just doesn't feel right.
Right. Right.
and
So, mhm.
and then of course like that girl was who was like super popular, like it was because of like the whole like spiral thing, right? That like that went into her head that kept sucking things in, right? So it was kind of like that's what like kept drawing people more to her. It wasn't just the fact that she was pretty, but because it was like the spiral like that was growing within her that like attracted people that they didn't even know why though, but it was because of the spiral.
Yeah, definitely was this spiral's power.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
is.
it's like that's like really for me like really interesting because Trichi was like the one that noticed things with his dad, right? And he that's what he was getting creeped out. And after he started like getting creeped out by it, he's kind of like then he started infecting his girlfriend, which then the girlfriend like kind of like there's like tiny little things that kept like as soon as you notice it, like you just spread it by word apparently, right? And that's what made it grow.
I just feel bad for the mom as
Oh yeah,
well.
yeah. You talk about the mom because that one was brutal
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, like damn, that was just like, I mean, you do, like I said, we're kind of seeing that, um depending on how you perceive it,
Mm-hmm.
you get affected by it, like, and it seems like what is his name?
Chuichi.
Yeah, Shuichi. He he's being truth to himself in a way, like he doesn't want to accept them, or he doesn't want to, like he still recognizes them and it's aware of them. It's not like he's ignoring them and pretending that they're not there. And then he's getting possessed by them, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, they slowly
but it,
infect his mind. Yeah.
yeah, but he is, he is like reacting in a way that he doesn't accept them, right?
Yep.
He's like, okay, I'm aware of you, but I don't accept you. Like, I know that you're not, you know, something that I should, be curious about or trust
Yeah.
or even
You.
try to look into, like like he's trying to get his girlfriend to run away
Yeah. Basically, and
because he knows, yeah, he knows.
yeah, and it was
But
like.
yeah, the mom,
Mm-hmm.
sadly just got, um, how can you say, burned, right?
She got scarred basically, right? Because because of how the dad was constantly obsessed with them. Now, whenever she saw Spiral, it's kind of like that's all she could
I mean,
associate with the
obsessed
father.
with them and how he ended up
Yeah, like
like it,
he became a
like
Spiral
it,
and like
yeah.
to just fit in this like tub, right? And then like,
And that
ba-
was so creepy with the whole smoke of him.
mm-hmm.
Oh my god. And I mean that's what it made her go mad. That's the moment that I mean, and I thought, like, God damn you guys, like seeing that this is like a curse or something that you're not sure of. Why are you burning their fucking ashes? Like,
I mean, to be to be fair, I think they didn't understand what they didn't expect it to like go up and form the spiral of the father, right? So it's not like something that they knew was gonna happen, right? So to them it was just like a way of like letting go. So like the father like just reappearing as the spiral in the clouds and now infecting the waters was like new, right? That was not expected.
Yeah, but I mean, well, I guess.
Like from the from the outside looking in, it's like damn, like why do that, right? But
Yeah.
from within, it's not the same vibe, right? It's but it was really like crazy though how the mother went like insane over it, right? Because like
Mhm.
wherever she looked now, like she could, if there was anything that kind of like twisted or in any shape or way, she would like go nuts because it's like the spiral, right? So like to prevent
Mhm.
herself, like she cut off all her hair so that it wouldn't form a spiral as she looked
I
at it,
know her
and then her
fingertips. Oh,
fingertips, and even like that affected
yeah.
Chuichi because now he had to like walk around his mother with like gloves and a hat right now, so she wouldn't
Mhm.
go crazy.
Yeah, that's really really unfortunate for that family. You know,
It is, and
seems like
you know,
really
it's like really like they're really cursed, right? It's really
right.
cursed that family, and not just them. Right now, there's also like the one kid that walked in when it was raining, right? Who like the kids bullied, and when they like stripped him, like they found spirals on his back, also like forming, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
that's also kind of like the spirals are just like infecting everybody, and then we have Asami, the pretty girl that her whole face turned into a spiral.
Mhm. Right. She
That
got possessed by it.
mm-hmm. She actually
Yeah.
became one, right, and sucked up her own like her body.
Yep. Yep. It was yeah.
Yeah,
Um that's right. And so so I also figure that this is just the beginning of of how of the chaos, or like
no, yeah, like
of what type of like yeah.
there's definitely more that's
It's,
gonna come from all this. Like we still have to wait to see how it affects Chuichi's girlfriend, how crazy Chuichi gets after all this, because it seems like he's like at the close to the breaking point, also, right? He just needs that
Right.
that extra push, but you know, we'll hope for the best for him. And we got the
Definitely.
3 more episodes left on that one. But
Short story. Short
mm-hmm.
story, but yeah, it's gonna be deep and extreme. So
Yeah, it's gonna be good for the spooky month for sure.
for sure.
And unlike that one, that still has a bit more left to go. Our next one that we should talk about is the finale of Wistoria.
Oh yeah, that was the end, huh?
Yep.
Coming in no more. Well, what can we say?
Like,
Our
right.
friend got himself a seat on the table, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we did get a new kind of character, not really, well, yes, character, of course, but raised, I want to say. And what I mean is that Finn,
Yeah.
they came in and they spotted each other, and there was like an instant like
Connection.
connection. Yeah. So and he went to confront the. I mean, we got a lot of cryptid like messages, right? Or like
Yeah. So like with Finn, like
signs. Yeah, like
with
we started with like how the mom was giving away baby Will
yep.
to the ones basically, even though he's a sore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
like
So
that. Hmm.
yeah. So like that's kind of like because they know that Will has this whatever this ability, I guess, to kind of like get the magic right, like make the magic go into the sword or use the sword to capture the magic, right? I think that's one of the main reasons why Will's mom, I guess, kind of like gave it to the wand. And it's also like we've been knowing that there's been like growing conflict in the background, so and it's becoming like too strong. They're like the opposing like group is becoming strong, so like they need more than just like strong mages. They need something like exceptional, and I think that's why they wanted Will to like be with the wands so he could learn to use this power at will. Because like even when the his boy Sion asked him like, "Yo, what the hell was that power?" Will was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I have no idea. Like I just felt
Right.
power." And it's
Right. Oh.
there's such a mystery
Mm-hmm.
behind that power still, which is good. We don't want all the answers right
Yeah.
away. Um,
Yes, I agree. And we see that a key or a door is this Finn guy, like to that world, to that whole
yeah, so like I took
thing
a bit of
of it.
like notes on Finn, right? And he's
Mm-hmm.
technically like he's part of like a whole ass tribe in that world where they train all the swords that and he's part of a tribe that specializes in guiding people in the labyrinth or dungeon,
Right.
which
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Yeah.
like already reminiscent of like Will. So like I think Will belongs to that tribe. But
Right. You're right. Mm-hmm.
that's just like a kind of like a guess. And with
No,
it,
it seems like it because I mean, like just like I also mentioned that he went, he like as soon as he met him,
yeah, it's like his eyes were
they
glued
feel
to him.
instant connection. So did Will,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went straight to force the one, keeper kind of thing. The
Yeah, the
to like why if that's his territory. Those are like his people,
yeah. And
like
now
his
we're
people.
gonna
So
be seeing more of him apparently because he kind of was like, I'm gonna be coming in more often to check
yeah,
what
yes,
you're doing.
I'm gonna meddle in, and he's just like, well, you're welcome to it.
I
I'm
mean,
like, duh.
you're not gonna argue with the person that went almost 50 floors deep.
Right.
Cause can you
Yeah.
imagine like these students barely made it through floor 11, like
9, right? Yeah, 11. Yeah, something
and
like that.
and this guy's already like at taking like the king of the Magia Benders to like
Oh my
floor
God.
50.
And that priest or king or what was that with that one? He definitely was powerful and
Yeah,
strong.
yeah. I mean, he's the king of the Magia Benders, so like I guess he's the strongest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like everybody was kind of like you know, knee to the king, you know, like going down, praising him, and Will obviously he realized he was good, but like obviously Finn had the better aura, you could say, you know.
Right.
But
Yes.
hmm yeah, and you know, I thought it was like a really nice, sweet things with like the how Colette was feeding Liana in the little hospital, and she was like
That
more,
was cute.
and you know she
That was
brought it for
cute.
Will, and here's Liana the Glen just eating everything.
Yep. Yeah, that was cute, definitely.
hmm
So,
But we did
hmm
find out what the people were after, right, from the dungeon. You know, the bad guys.
right.
They were after these that same sword that the guy brought, Finn, right? I think there's like multiple of them or pieces of it, right? So those people that went into the dungeon, they got the swords that are like the mage slayer swords. So like they're used to kill, I guess, the mages.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw that, but I didn't really catch all that.
No, yeah,
Like,
I was glued. I was glued. I was paying attention, took notes just for this, you know,
yeah,
and
because no, it's true. I remember seeing the pieces. I remember
yeah, because they even
the.
said like there was already people in the 50th floor that they took out apparently, right? And they lost like
Hmm.
some people to them too, but like you know
Right,
nothing major.
right. Yes,
And
I
you
do
know,
remember all that.
hmm you know, and after that, just kind of like Will just goes back to his regular thing. You know, he's already like up in training, and and Zion, our flame boy, kind of is like, whatever you can do, I can do even better, right? And like damn near like destroys his rib cage.
Yes, he really did that Brett dude. He's just, I don't know.
I mean,
So
it's
he's
just
just immature and childish, really,
yeah. I
to
mean, he's
say the
kind of like
least.
he is kind of like Will's rival in a way. So like you know he whatever Will does is kind of like pushing him forward, and
Mhm.
you know Will is like now finally starting to notice, right? Because he's like, oh, he thought back to like the exam part, right? And he was like, well, I did promise him, so I might as well give it to him, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, definitely earned his place on the table.
oh,
So,
he
but
definitely did.
there's he's they're still, being how they are with Will, but and it's his bet for sure.
Mm,
And it was very, very cute to kind of see everyone at the end where they at,
mm-hmm.
like we saw a picture of the elf princess,
Mm-hmm.
you know. We saw our main girl,
Yep.
or main heroine,
Yeah, Elfie.
or damsel in distress, however you want to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I did see that his her Will's plushies kept growing in her
Yeah,
collection.
at the end of the outro, yeah.
Yes, that was adorable,
Mm-hmm.
to say the least. They
Mm-hmm.
are adorable.
Yeah, she
Yes.
definitely wants Will up
So
there, that's for sure.
yeah, it's
Which is
really,
kind of like
really nice.
indifferent to how the elf girl is to Wignall. You know, guys like, well, I definitely appreciate Will a lot more. You know, like I'd so Will at least like earned respect from the elf there, from Liana and Julius to an extent, but like Julius still
Right.
being like a brat about it, you know, like not really trying to give him his praises. But
Right. And well, I think one of the professors did something incredible too, or someone when they were saving the students, didn't something
um,
happen on that
that
one?
was the king. I think the
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 king.
teachers
Oh, that's right. It was the king. It
the
was one of
teachers
the king.
just were not gonna be able to make it in time because
Yes, and the king kind of. That's right. And then the
yeah.
king
So
got in.
yeah, there
That
was a
and
lot
that
of teachers
battle
that
was.
died though, like quite a few.
Yeah, we did see. We did.
But like
We
luckily no
did hear.
students,
We
so
did
like you
hear
know.
that a lot of teachers died,
Mm-hmm.
but none of their students. So
No, some were
I
injured
mean
but
that.
not death. But
Yeah. So that's a win on its own.
mm-hmm. And you
So
know, this series just ends off with like not like a semi cliffhanger, but not something that to look forward to. You know, like the final like graduation exams start. So like this is like Will's last chance to ascend. I hope they give him
right.
the 270 points though for
Right, right. For the Duke dean
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I agree with you. We were not told what was, happening with that, but
No, we were not. We were.
hopefully, hopefully, on. I think I did see when it finished that, already approved for second season
Yes,
and in
we second
production.
season is already approved, so
Yeah, I think they even put it like at the end of the credits at the
they
end
did,
too.
and even
Yeah.
the author and no, not the author, the illustrator for the manga, he
Mhm.
um he made a special like poster to commemorate the second the
Mhm.
second season being announced too. So
Oh, that's great.
you know
That's
why?
great.
So I don't know if you knew this because I don't think we ever mentioned it, but Wistoria is like written by the guy that wrote Danmachi.
Oh, really? No, no, no. I don't think we went over that.
No, we
I did
didn't.
not know that. No, I did not know. And I
So
wouldn't really think so. But you know what? This guy is really good at taking an idea and making it better.
no, he definitely.
because
I see
because
like a lot of similarities in Will and Bell, and
because oh yeah, I can see that too now that you're mentioning.
I wonder, right? Because like uh when I heard about that, like I almost wondered like if this is kind of like the could be like the either the he could, I bet like the author can make it kind of like either a prequel or kind of like a
Mhm.
sequel to Danmachi, like whatever happens after
Mm.
Danmachi. I wonder if this is like one of those things where like the author will like connect the worlds
Mhm. Mhm.
because I think that
Well,
would be like really cool and like Will could have been like the like the hero that Belle always talks about if it's a prequel, right?
right. But supposedly the hero's, yeah,
But
himself.
mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
so
he is
yeah.
the next one, yeah. But anyway, you know,
Yeah.
we should.
Yeah, no, but I mean, but at least like how the guys came to be or something, or
Mm-hmm.
when the gods had normal lives or something. I mean, I can see that,
Yeah, for sure.
because
Well,
they had their own like, you know, uh,
I mean,
like theme or like.
there's just a lot of similarities, right? Because even within the dungeon, like the dungeon creates monsters same way as in Danmachi, like the dungeon is breathing and it creates its own
Hmm.
like ecosystem and stuff. So like
Right.
there's
Yeah,
quite a
for
few
sure.
similarities, which is why I'm
Mhm.
kind of like thinking like it can be connected to that world. That if not like a prequel or sequel, at least connected to that world.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like.
Okay, and now we got another series that is continuing from summer into the fall, but the I guess
From
the
the Tower
season
of God.
yep, Tower of God. Go ahead. I
That's,
want you to
uh,
talk about your boys.
yeah. Oh man. I mean, Kun is really, really out there trying to make it back to Bam.
Mm-hmm.
So, or trying to, you know, get to really talk to Bam. Or now that he knows it's him, right? Now that he's sure that it's him,
Mm-hmm.
um, and figure out what they're doing with him. Kun. He's just trying to know everything and control it. He
Yep.
told us in one of these episodes how he is a lighthouse because he likes to be in control.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not the lighthouse because I'm scared of, I'm bad at infighting. I'm the lighthouse because I want to be in command of everything, right? I want to be control everything.
Yeah, exactly. When I call it shots.
Mm-hmm.
so so yeah, and we see him that he really does like that because as soon as he acts so humble and modest when when getting invite to the thing, and as soon as he's part of the team, he's killing killing them in training them,
Yeah, I do like that.
and
The
everyone's like, oh my god, he thinks he's the boss of us now,
Yeah,
but
he he thinks of the leader now, and
yeah.
before that, I do like how at least one of them was kind of like on the fence about it. The prince, he was kind of like, maybe we shouldn't really trust one of the higher families, right? Members.
Right.
And everybody's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like we just lost like our major firepower and Bam and Kong, right? So like we kind of need something to replace them, right? If we're gonna really be
Right.
serious about the battle workshop.
Yeah,
And
and I mean, they were told at this episode that he is one of friends Bam. I mean,
yeah,
Bam's friends, right? Yeah,
yes,
so
yes,
so
they
it's
they.
like
I think
it's
Kun
like
is the one that
they
tells them.
feel, yeah, so they feel like they'll be getting in the way of Bam's whole point.
Yeah, and that's how kind of like Kun tries to convince them, right? Because he's kind of like, if we do this and we win, we get Bam back, right? Or you guys can get Bam back. And
Right.
there's no real guarantees, but it's like their only shot. And he kind of that's what the prince doesn't really like because he wants a guarantee that Bam will be theirs again. But like, and he's like, he's not even sure that Kun could like actually pull it off and win the thing with them. And Kun is like, it's like, no, 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 no. Whichever team I'm on is not allowed to lose. Like
To
it,
lose.
it has to. Whatever
Yeah.
team I'm on is gonna win.
Yeah. He's guaranteed to win. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is that bitch. He is that dude. He is that
Yeah, and
badass.
I think it also
Yes.
shows like Kun like he just got betrayed by his old teammates, right? So him putting himself out there again, right, to trust again so quickly, it's gotta put a toll on him.
Ah, I know. Poor Bam. It really hurt me to my soul when he said that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like, "Oh no, it's my bad. I shouldn't have got attached to anyone now. Now
Mm-hmm.
you guys are using them. Like I should have done it better. Like
Yeah, he's like,
this is why I was
if I was
acting."
stronger, like it wouldn't this wouldn't have even mattered, right? That's
Yeah,
that's
dude. That
essentially.
that hurt me because it's like, damn, I really couldn't stand or like or prefer not to watch that cold Bam. Like
Yeah,
from
I
the
mean,
beginning of
it
the
hurt Kun too,
episode.
it hurt Kun too
Yeah.
that now he's not he wasn't strong enough to like or like too trusting, right? It's almost
Mm.
like Bam's like whole innocence still like affecting Kun, right? Like even though I feel like at first he didn't really feel the need to trust them. He kind of is like, but Bam was with them all this time, right? So he's like, he trusts Bam enough that he's willing to give
Right.
trust to these people that were with Bam.
Right. Right. Definitely see that moment him kind of, acknowledge, admitting to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have allowed Bam to like basically do as he pleases, or
Mm-hmm.
because it's true, throughout all first season, Kun would say like, okay, let's kill this or let's do it this way, and he would be like, isn't there like a nicer way to go
Yeah,
about it? Like there is, but the risks are higher. He's like, well, if there is, you can still do it and still win, and like,
yeah,
and then he'll be like, ah, okay, like,
yeah.
like, oh,
Exactly. It's
cutie,
it's like
cutie pie.
they have such really good friendship, and I'm glad at
Right,
least the Kang was brought back to life.
right.
Even though he's gonna be
Oh
used as a
yeah, and it was good to see the devils, right?
yeah,
That they were brought to life too. The one that was killed, right?
yeah, that's one.
And that the other one is there. Oh, and we also got to hear that they were going to go meet that doctor.
Yeah,
Like,
apparently she's also in the battle workshop. So
so,
now
oh
it kind of
yeah,
begs the question.
yeah. It really we'll definitely have some questions, but hopefully we get more answers than more questions. But we'll see. We'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely see.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, many things to go by. What Tower of God is. It's more questions first, and then you know you
Mhm.
more questions. So,
Yeah.
but
Oh
we
man,
did see
I'm
Baum's
glad
new
we're gonna
crew.
get more though,
Yeah,
and they're gonna. And you're right, we're not. Yeah, no, we're gonna get another
another.
episode
Yeah, we're getting
this
a whole other
Sunday
arc.
on the 6th. Yeah, a whole other arc. Yeah, we're not. They're not taking like a break, like a episode off or something. So
No, no,
that's
not this
good.
one.
And we're going to get a new AD. I'm excited.
Oh, I've
Um,
heard the new opening for it.
you did?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bop.
I think I've seen
It's by
Crunchyroll advertising the ending. Or it might be the opening. I thought it was the ending, but
well, I heard one of them
that got me yeah, I that got me excited.
because it's
So I
by
was
like
like,
a
oh,
it's by the band that did their first opening, I believe.
right.
So, but yeah, how did you
Oh,
feel
I
about
see. So,
the
oh,
little
you're
training
right. That is
montage?
them. Hmm?
How do you feel about their
What's
little
that?
training montage, or like the little training arc that they went to with Kun, because they were like overdoing it and stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, he, he was being coon, like he was so humble and modest at first. And then as soon as he was already in, he went brutal and hard on them. And
Hmm.
they, call him out on it, but kind of too late, But
Yeah, I mean,
we
he's the
definitely, uh-huh.
he's the only lighthouse. Well, the best lighthouse, I guess, because I think the other girl with glasses was putting in overtime to come up with a strategy, and he was kind of like,
Right.
this isn't half. This is kind of like half cooked, right? It's like we kind of need more guaranteed, and
But I did like what the the fast guy said about Kun and the situation, right? How
yeah,
he was like, "Oh, you're just not you." I mean, he thought it. I don't think he really like told him, out loud, but he like, thought to himself. He's like, "You're just used to being with very talented people.
yeah, he is.
So now that you're like with normal like people, you really
He's like,
don't
it's really
even
stressing you out,
understand.
dude.
Yeah, you know.
And it's true because like because Kun is who he is, right? And he's part of that family, that noble family. Like
Eh,
that alone, like just brings people with like exceptional skills to you, right?
well, yeah.
So
Mhm.
like the better chances to like line yourself up with powerful people. So
Mhm.
this time he's stuck
Yes.
with like regulars that he has to actively train and put like specific training exercises for each one of them, right? So took a bit out of him, but at least they proved them right. Like that they were able to do it. They passed, and
They did.
we got to see Bam's new crew. How do you feel about Bam's new crew that they put up?
Well, they're badass as fuck. Obviously, it's nice that they let those two, take part.
Yeah,
That will make it interesting.
yeah.
Um,
Even they were like I don't really like them,
and they
but
were
they're impressive.
chained, and they were, I mean, but they were chained, they were chained.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it's nice that Bam got them free. And then,
I like how
and
that one guy tried to intimidate him, right? And then the guy just like glared at him back, and it was like more
oh
intimidating.
yeah,
So it was kind of
oh
like
yeah,
so
I
that
saw
alone
it
already
too.
puts it in perspective. Like they could have killed him at any point if they wanted to, right? So like,
Right, right. And what kind of, status they're giving Bam's, teammates,
hmm
Like what kind of, yeah.
yeah, I do like that they Kun has to do this kind of like in secret because he's not allowed to let everybody know he's alive, right? Or that Bam is alive. Like that's
Of
kind of
course.
like a secret he has to take after until after the battle workshop.
Right. Yeah. We're definitely, yeah, definitely a lot of things unfolding.
hmm
And
I mean,
and we'll get
we got to
to
see everybody.
see.
We got
Yes, I know that's so legit too. They're gonna take part of the battle. Oh
yeah,
my God.
Hans,
I
the
mean, it's
tracksuit
definitely
guy.
gonna part, it's not like they're gonna recognize Bam from the get-go, and I'm sure Kun's gonna hide himself pretty well.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
we'll
but
see.
but do you think Rock will recognize him?
Oh, Rock already kind of knows he's alive. Like I feel like he already feels the vibe. He already feels
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing, the whole plan, and especially with because he's more like suspicious of what happened to Kun
Mm-hmm.
than worry,
Yeah.
So I feel like he kind of like it's really kind of connecting the dots on him, like on his thumb, like okay, Bam disappeared, now Kun's disappeared, like
Like I think he can smell that something's fishy. You know, no pun
mhm.
intended, because he's the fisherman. But I think like he just has like an innate talent for things, right? Because like right away when, like you said, when Kun disappeared, he was kind of like that's such a scam turtle, right?
Right. I can like okay, first Bam, now Kun. There, something's happening, right?
Yep.
Like
And
there's
given that
definitely
they think he's always like the dumbest out of the trio, right? He's kind of like, I know he probably feels like Kun is hiding something because like I think he calls him like sneaky turtle at times too, right? Or something like that.
uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Yes,
like
he does.
so
Sorry.
yeah, Tower of God is
Yeah.
this next season is it has to like have good animation because it's like a lot of fighting. So but with like a lot of obviously like there's gonna be like a lot of world building aspects to it, but like the fights have to be like crispy, I think.
Oh man, can't
Which
wait.
I got hopes because they did do the fire girl like when she was training. Her animation was
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool, like how they animated the flames. So
Yeah,
that I still like really loved how Tower of God is like story so captivating. The characters are all like great, and like all the struggles happening behind the scenes are like if you're not really paying close attention to them, they can like catch up on you and catch you by surprise.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah, another.
Yeah, we're.
But
Mm-hmm.
with that, we can hop up to another start of a fall season anime with the Reincarnated as Aristocrat one.
Reincarnated. Which one?
The as a reincarnated aristocrat, I use my appraisal
Oh yeah,
skills.
the Aristocrat.
Yeah,
Oh wow, yeah, I definitely watched that. It's it's kind of nice and a dream and fresh to see when they pick up where they left off. It's such like what a season in between,
yeah,
right? Like when
yeah.
was this?
They
Like
just
when was
took a season break to like give us like the
right?
the second part to it. Yeah.
Right, right. So nice. It feels like they're definitely on it,
Mm-hmm.
and like it never really left. It was more of a break,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah. So
I
I'll start
yeah.
with like I'll just get through the I guess kind of like the boring stuff, right? Where it's just like kind of like they kind of like retell us like what was going on in like the last season, right? Which with the war and stuff, they kind of like recap it a bit, and then they go into like then they start like going back to the meeting, right? To have like a meeting, and we get a like a mini like beach scenes, like where the magician girl like she finally sees the beach for like the first time, and like
Oh yeah, that was nice.
it's kind of like this is kind of like what the what was it Aristocrat wants to like provide, right? He's like, once war's all over, we'll have more moments like this where we're just you know being with
Mm-hmm.
one
You
another
want,
and
peace.
in
Yeah.
peace. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which to me, it was kind of like jarring because I'm like, okay, maybe because they were just sent out to war and fight, but I thought they would like at least been sent like closer to like an ocean or a beach to like really know. But I guess not. But I do gotta say like the MVP for like the whole like council meeting has to be the Mireille, the girl that they snatched up last season, the final.
Oh my goodness, yes. She is she is hardcore. First first because she has the I want to call him the Indian dude, but the servant, the one that has
Mm-hmm.
been raised and it's a big deal in that world. He
Yeah.
definitely was in his bad side. He just couldn't accept her, right? He
Yeah.
didn't want to accept her. He was
Like none of
like
them wanted
going
to accept
to,
there, but
well, yeah, but he particularly was like leading the pack,
yep.
So it's nice to see, that turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
That
And
he, now he's like they look at each other, they finish each other's sentences, they,
they're
they
really like a family now, right?
right. So,
It's good to see like the growth in their relationship, and also like the because like she obviously they went through the whole like battle mock thing, like she knows all of their capabilities, and she pretty much tells the people at the council, like your ideas are shit, you know
oh yes,
and
for sure.
and she's like, bring on little Roselle, right? Roselle, you tell them how it's done, and like everyone's like, nah, it's just child, and like Oris was like, I have my full faith in my strategist, right? And with that, like it won over like the one of the kings that's like fighting for power, right? And it's like, okay, we'll hear him out, and the strategy was pretty interesting, right? Because I think they wanted to like attack a fort that would like leave them vulnerable to like an attack, and it wasn't like even a guarantee that they would win that fight. And then
Right,
if they would have come back, their forces would have been like dwindled down enough for like the other king to come in. Which the only reason why that one hasn't moved is because it's not like a 100% guarantee that he would win. And
right.
basically,
Hmm.
this kid kind of like basically told them, like instead of trying to attack here, pretend to attack here. But instead we're actually gonna send somebody to like negotiate over here, and they're gonna become our allies to then be able to go and and fight off like any attacks that are coming our way, right?
Right.
That's the gist of
Definitely.
like what I got for it. Like obviously, like there's a lot of names that I could not remember of the towns, or like uh you know provinces, whatever. Um, but this leads with this like part that Ars gets full control of like the negotiations, and he thinks it about like none of us here are really good at negotiating, so the only one I can really trust with
Yeah,
this,
that's where the girl is.
mm-hmm, is
Yeah,
Licia.
I love
Licia.
that.
And you want to talk about this part for a bit?
Yeah, so it was really really nice that they had their romantic moments because
Mm-hmm.
this is not really, I don't know what you can really call this, Um it's a little bit of everything, I guess.
Yeah.
Um so definitely we see that the girl has been more open about her feelings and and over him, like doing making moves and whatnot, making it clear.
Mm-hmm.
He's been, if anything, more of a going with the flow, um, and his duties, because it is his duty to like marry with another pro- province, and grow
Yeah.
their land or whatever, or their politics or whatever.
Yeah. Basically, he has to
And
like
like
he.
he kind of knew that he was always going to get into a political marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
Basically.
Like he always kind of accepted that was going to be his fate, that he was going to go into political marriage. But it seems that he hasn't realized or come into the acknowledgement that his marriage is quite more than that, right? And that not only from her part, but from his part as well.
Yeah. So like he
So
didn't
that's
really
sweet.
acknowledge his feelings for her. Essentially, right? Like he knew he had the feelings for her, but he didn't want to like uh
Hmm.
go based off on his feelings. I think he was kind of being respectful in a way, right? He because like first of all they're like in a war, so like
Right.
he hasn't really had time to like process that. Oh, at any moment like I could just marry her, right? Or like really sit down with his feelings to realize he this girl really means it, or if she's just joking, right? Because like she would be like before she would tell him and tease him like about how much she loves him, and it seemed genuine, but also had like a hint of just like kind of like teasing to it. But now that she'd
Right.
really pour her hearts on her sleeve, like he was like, if she's brave enough to do this, right, to finally admit to all this, then me as a man, I'm kind of failing. And that
Right.
was like a big part of him too, because like him becoming a man was like,
Now I love that he realized that she was kind of taking the lead in this whole romance thing,
yeah.
and he decided to take it a step further, so he can have the lead. So my respect to the little kid,
Hmm.
and
Yeah. Yeah, so like he went and goes like, you know what, we don't even have to wait till the war is over, we should just do it right now. And it's really interesting because about all this was happening, right? You have the his servant, right, that's with them, that whose people get like mistreated poorly, and he's kind of like taken back because like even the Lycia's father was kind of like treating him like a normal person, right? And it's like
mm-hmm.
you know what I am, but you still treat me like as it's like you would treat another person, right? A regular person. It's like, and it's like that's really good, right? Like
Right,
it's not just ours. It could almost be like either like ours influence, or like it could just be like this is like good people that ours is like getting into. So like he gets his own peace of mind that ours is like marrying into a good family too, or like
yes.
being together with a good family, because he just they kind of get bombarded later after that to like, hey, we're getting married, and they're like, oh, let's celebrate, room for celebration at the
Yeah.
long end, because the girl was like, even if you say no, I'm not changing who I want to marry. So
Well, I'm glad we're gonna see a wedding. and although they're kids or whatever,
I mean,
it
they're
is
like 14 during this time period. You know, that's pretty much adults. You know,
true, true. You're right. You're right.
but like
14, although they look more like, yeah,
like
12,
12.
but
Yeah,
yeah, or 11 for God's sake.
yeah,
But but yes, okay, 14. We'll buy it. We'll go
yeah.
with
We'll
it,
buy it.
Like
But yeah, at least you know we have the negotiator that's gonna go do all that lifting, right? Alicia's gonna go risk her own life, all for ours, and you know it's good. Like you know they have like ours really realizes how much Alicia like really puts himself out for her. So like, I think that's also why he was like, yeah, you know, I can't let her go, you know. But
yep. And I cannot wait to see how she negotiates and what she gets from the negotiation.
mm-hmm, I know she's gonna get like the best deal for them for sure. And you know, with that, we should go on to another great anime, the most notorious talker.
Wow, I like this kind of dark animes in a way.
I
So
mean, it
that's
starts off
really
very
nice.
dark, right? Like this is kind of like Attack on Titan is, where like you know the monsters come in and take the entire of they take like the most but person that they love, right? The person that they love the most. And we do get like I love how like the beginning sentence of the show was like you know a deep dark abyss manifests when the mana air reaches critical mass. It's kind of like from that sense alone you already know like oh this is gonna get kind of dark, you know.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, from like when he lost his grandpa, right?
yeah, not only his grandpa, like his his sensei, and you know he lost the world lost the most powerful seeker,
Right.
which it you know because of his loss of his grandfather, and he vowed to like become the what was it like the strongest or or the ultimate. He vowed to become like the ultimate seeker. You know, he vowed to surpass his grandpa essentially, right?
That's right. It needs to do that. It needs to be the most powerful as him too. What was he called? Over death or something like that?
Yeah, Oberdeath.
Something. Yeah, over death.
That's a cool name, and you know I do like the fact that we have another like a MC that uses guns. You know, like there's not many where they have to use guns and stuff. So I think that was neat. Little thing to his design that he has to use guns to like really use his magic to its fullest. Because like you know, as in the show says, the talker class is like the the worst for fighting
The
because
weakest. Yeah.
yeah it's the worst for fighting because it's like the weakest support class essentially, which is just like they just give whatever they say they can cause like uh enhancements to like the his teammates basically. So he can't really fight alone. He has to find like strong teammates to team up with. And and we do know that his current rank's like a C, and they're like in a B dungeon or whatnot, right? So like the only reason that their group was even able to do that is because they have him in there that's able to like boost them up to the rank that they need to be.
Yeah. That was
How did you
that.
feel
Yeah, I mean,
about the fight, the
it
fighting?
was the fighting. It was legit. It was like, you know, strategy can always win strength, like brutal strength in a way. Like what I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
brutal, like physical strength. So I definitely like that that's the angle they're taking on. This
Mm-hmm.
guy's not brutal or, physical, like he is, you know,
Yeah.
of a talker. And I definitely also noticed that we were giving um kind of like an idea of the relationship between the party, right? Between the mates in the party, what relationship they had
Yeah. Right away. Like,
among each other. Yeah, and we kind of see there was no real attachment from one another. It was very business
I mean,
kind of,
yeah,
based on those
basically, right?
two.
Because like I think right away, like
And
the warrior clash with them, right?
it's
Like,
like a band. It's like
yeah,
a music band. They're like trying to make music together kind of thing, and they were put together by an agency or something. I don't know, like something like that it seemed like.
yeah, like
But
almost like they band it up once. They're like, oh, this was pretty good. Let's do it again. And
mhm.
like obviously, like the crew has they all have a certain way they feel about a protagonist. Noel, like the warriors, kind of like you're just useful for enhancements. But they're kind of like, but he kind of like basically told them we're tired of like carrying the load, right? Because we're the ones that are always fighting. Well, meanwhile you have to sit
Mhm.
in the back. And Noel takes it pretty well, because like he's like, yeah, I know what my abilities are, right? He's like, but he's kind of like the strategist, so like he's not even the leader of the thing, which was surprising to me at first, right?
I know
Like,
we saw that he wasn't even the sword dude, of course, so cliche.
yeah,
So, but we're gonna know after what happens of how it ends that definitely the next party he's the leader. I mean, it's just
yeah, I think they
obvious.
were like
I'm
in the
I'm
opening, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so I'm excited to see the crew after this, right? Because sadly, as soon as he decided to start the clan, which was his main goal, he was like, I'm gonna put in like 8 million of my own money, but you guys gotta put up the rest, right? Like the funds for this group.
Mhm.
And as soon as I saw them, kind of like, like the looks that they were giving him, the mage girl and the other guy,
Me too.
I'm like,
Me
oh, they're
too.
gonna dip, they're gonna dip.
I did not think they were gonna dip, but I thought they were going to like I don't know something. They were gonna do something.
I mean, I figured they were gonna betray him in one way or another, right? I figured like
Something.
they were gonna just leave him, and like I guess let him keep the money, or just I didn't think they were gonna take all their money. But yeah, he gets swindled out of all the money that he earned the crew. Even though he threatened them pretty badly. He's like, you know, I've been saving up my own money from all our stuff. But if you're not gonna do the clan thing, I'm gonna take back all of my assets from it, right? So the other the mage girl and the what was it, the knight, whatever, they didn't take too kindly to that. They left, and something tells me like they're gonna get their karma really real soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be quick. It's gonna be quick. But yeah, kind of glad that I don't know. I mean, I did not like the vibe that they started as.
No, they definitely, like,
Well,
even from off rip, right? Like you said, like they didn't really feel like a cohesive unit, right?
like just put they're together as
Kind of like with like
yeah.
solo leveling, right? When they just like have that emergency
Mm-hmm.
gate and they just like grab whatever they have near.
Yeah, business only,
Mm-hmm.
business um purposes. So yeah, so that was a really good start of it.
I definitely agree. I
Um,
think this one was like one of my favorite starts of the new season so far. I was
yeah.
There's not like super a lot to talk about it yet, but we we're just starting, and hopefully like there'll be like uh something with like more to sink our teeth into.
Mhm. Definitely
Yeah,
excited to see where this leads.
I'm also
So,
excited to see like, well, we know there's like multiple classes, right? So like I want to know
right,
like
right.
we don't even know who the current strongest ones are, right? So like we need to figure out who's the strongest mage, who's the strongest warrior, stuff like that to like just add more to the world.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes.
Because just from like the title alone of this thing, right? It seems like he's gonna get some pretty OP people.
Mhm.
So that
Yeah, I'm
is,
kind of excited to see what kind of class he gets, what kind of class of people he gets.
yeah. Or maybe he just
Um,
gets hired into one. Who knows? I don't think he's gonna make his own. Maybe he'll just well, no, he's gonna make some because he runs it, right? So like we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. It
And,
will be interesting.
and yeah, definitely
Very,
want
very good.
I definitely want to keep watching. I think first episode alone makes a good case for it, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to keep talking about it weekly.
Agreed.
And all right, and continuing on, I think we should discuss something other than anime. Maybe Ichi the Witch, the manga.
Yes.
We have 2 chapters.
The latest two chapters.
Yes. And like chapter 3 was pretty good because we got our first hunt. The Raiko, the lightning one.
Yes, he got his first hunt. His first like well, not his first hunt because obviously
Well,
the
his
one
first.
that he conquer, yeah, the one that he conquered and gave him the magic was the first one, but his first like conscious, like aware of his powers, and not even his powers because I really like that he was using it as himself. He's staying true to himself with the hunting, with the um what's it called? I want to say like caveman hunting, like very very
Yeah,
old
very
school. Very,
primitive hunting.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, like he's
Primitive,
sticking
my
with
bad.
yeah, he's sticking with that, and it's nice to see that even aware of his powers, he stays true to himself, to his like
Y-
core or root of his strength,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we also have like the magic that kind of was like on his high horse too, right? Because he was like
Mhm.
growing and growing, and he at first he only it started with like hunting animals, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's decided to like just what if I just start hunting humans next, right?
Yeah, and villages and things. Yeah, he was doing it for fun, as our protagonist did say. He was a murderer, not a hunter. So he did not feel bad when he was being judged on the way that he hunts them,
Yeah, and
by the his companion magic. He said he was trying to say that it was more epic than that. That it needed more of a tense atmosphere
yeah,
and an introduction. And
which
he was like, yeah.
that was very funny of like rural, right? Because he was like, we need to make a big show out of this, right? It shouldn't have been like this cheap trick that you just you know you you laid a trap and you basically got us, right? Where's the
Correct.
spectacle? And I like how
But it was,
I was
yeah, huh?
I was like I like how Ichi and the Scaras were both kind of like in unison, just making fun of him after because he was like, I'm like a very you know I'm like a gem, right? And they were like, yeah, you're kind of filthy, ugly, gross. I thought it was really funny how the Scaras is, you know, like
Mhm.
because she played a big part also in like being the bait for the trap, and
Yeah.
it's just nice that she's the one that's like putting notice of like Ichi's doing this. Meanwhile, like a lot of the witches are just not like have this sort of like same like you said, like the same way to hunt basically, right?
Correct. Yeah, it was nice for her to notice and give him his like flowers instead of judgment. Um, instead of like, oh, that's not how it's done, or that's not what we do. She's like, well, that's a different and interesting way of doing it. Of doing it. Like,
Yeah,
she's being open, and I like that, right? Like
yeah,
she's being
obviously.
open of letting him do as he feels fit. And he succeeded. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as the result, it's achieved, which is to conquer or hunt them.
Yeah,
um I believe you know
all this.
it should be left up to the witch, or was I mean, yeah, I guess Ichi's a witch even though he's a guy. So
I mean,
mhm.
yeah, he is, but he's like one of those rare cases, and you know, him being one of those rare cases is why like they get the Skara gets like a little bit in trouble, right? Because she's been gone for a bit with
Oh
the
yeah,
with the
we did see
tr-
that
so
when she got a phone call.
yeah, she got a phone call from the witch association, which is kind of like you kind of you have a lot of paperwork over here, you gotta get your ass over here and bring the boy. Mm,
Correct.
she kind of like maybe it's not maybe I should have not kept them, right? Because she she's such a jokester. She's like playing, like when she was like we said she was the bait. She was kind of like, oh, who wouldn't want to pounce on this like delicate flower, right?
Right.
So like I really like the personality she has, and it kind of like it goes well with like
She does have a good, you know, um, I want to say like ambitious personality, but still pretty easygoing. So it's a
yeah,
nice it's, it's a nice ride.
yeah.
Um,
And we go
it was
to
cute
the
to see them. It was cute to see them in the market though, and him getting to look at the magical items.
yes. So
It is
this is like chapter 4 now, and like as we were saying, they were heading to the capital, right?
right, right.
And
So it
you
was,
talk about the magical items. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. It just sucks because as we're being reminded, men are not to to be witches. So um there's no magical items for men, and and I can see why I think his transformation is very female too, maybe because of the same concept. But
Yeah, you have been saying
um
that his transformation is like kind of not, you know,
yeah, yeah,
doesn't.
but you would think that regardless of usually being woman, you know, the fact that it was a man, it would still, like, I don't know, adapt or go with it. But I guess, we'll see. We'll see what it brings, that whole aspect of it.
Yeah,
But as we're being told, man, there's no items. He's not interested in obviously the fashion of the boots.
no,
He's
just
interested in the capabilities of it.
yeah.
So the our our
So
higher
like
up, which yeah, our higher up, which was like, oh, don't you start giving giving yourself attention with this, like,
yeah, because technically
you know,
he's supposed to be on the low key, like only the higher up people in the witch association is supposed to know about him, right? Which we kind
right,
of do get like a little like kind of like hierarchy also explained earlier in the chapter, right? Where it's
Hmm.
like
Oh
the
yeah, we did get a little explanation on how the witches are hierarchy works
yeah, so there's like
and how.
witches, then there's the apprentices, and then there's like the people that just like use magic on daily things, and then there's the people that have to use the magic tools, something like that.
Right, and then there's the man can then not do both neither.
Yeah, exactly. So, woman on top, you know. Um,
Love that.
mm-hmm. We do love that, and you know, this is like in the capital, like everybody uses magic to a degree. So like,
Hmm.
so
Yeah, we see our little mountain boy being like super impressed by the town just
mm-hmm.
by the busyness and the and
And
the amount of people.
yeah, because he's like you said, he's a mountain boy, so like he just kind of like he knows how to like talk to people, but at the same time, he's never had to like be surrounded by all the buildings. Because even the village he went to is like it's just kind of like farmers and hunters, you know. So it's kind of
Yeah,
it's really like the what is it the country boy in a city or something.
right.
So
Cute.
so
He's
the
cute
magic
though.
boots though that take an eye on
Oh
him.
yeah. So those magic books, he ended up finding an excuse to use them. So good,
Yeah, because
good for
this
him, I guess.
poor one of the poor assistants dropped the letter right from the
And it did look what's it called urgent because it did say
it hits that urgent,
on
so he's just
it.
like, you know what, I'm gonna take these boots that are supposed to like make you hop really high in the air, and you know I gotta
And
say
with his magic, right, it would like take it to another degree.
yeah, because of his magic it would like amped it like to the maximum, so like he just put a little magic in bad boy and he started looking like he was
I
flying.
know. Yeah, exactly. That's
And
interesting.
yeah, and I think like this manga like just the expressions are like so awesome, right? Like you can just like see like what they're feeling as you're reading it, right? So like you just see
Yes.
his joy and how he's
Yeah.
doing backflips off of buildings,
I
doing
definitely also felt her frustration when she just popped up there.
yes, and that was like really good because like she was like getting ready to scold him. She's just like, you know what? This is pretty cool, right?
Yeah, and then both get school. And then he's
Yeah,
like,
they at least they make it
I
to
love
where they needed to go, right? They crashed the gate.
no, I love how she's all like sorry, I'm sorry, and then she's like, if sorry would solve everything, we wouldn't need cops.
Yep.
And then she's like, oh no, now I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Uh, and then she's like, oh, maybe I can just say get away with the sorry instead of no quiero.
Yep.
Can you pause for a moment? Hold on.
Okay. I can't, but
Yeah.
oh,
So it was really great that she was like, if sorry would solve everything, we wouldn't need cops, and then she's gonna get the same schooling because the the she needs to write the apology letter
yep.
instead of just saying sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it, as you said, they made it to the office of the Madame Witch.
Yep. Pretty pretty good story. What do you think? How do you think about it so far? 4 chapters in.
Oh, I think it's really great. It has a very good um like originality,
Mm-hmm.
and then it has like its fun moments,
Yeah.
its real like fun moments, and it doesn't really seem to be all that serious. Although the guy, I mean, the guy's still kind of like a mystery, right? Like so there's like a lot of room
Yeah,
to
I think.
explore, and you cannot really assume at the same time, and I like that. You know, it's not.
Hmm.
It doesn't seem like I'll be able to know where this is going, what it's happening, and all that.
Yeah,
So
I mean, the only thing we really know is we have an end goal of like capturing the all the magics. So aside from that, like it just seems like it can go either way, right? It can get really serious, have a really uh different tone, like
right,
chapters in, or it can actually just keep
yeah,
doing these like monsters of the week type of thing.
yeah. For now, it has just like a very light, fun tone.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, and it feels like nice to like read a manga that just kind of like you're going with the flow of it, and
right,
it doesn't feel like all up in your face.
right.
Like going from like for example going from having this plot line and then reaching this other plot line and trying to connect the two, right? It just feels like, oh, we're like going kind of like on an adventure with Ichi as he experiences the magic world.
Yeah.
So Ichi the Witch was great. I think we should move on to the loner life in another world.
Yes.
And
That was
you
that was
wanna you want me to
that
start
was
off by saying what
interesting.
it's about?
Sure. So we know that it's an isekia
Yeah,
that
it's a isekai with.
trans isekai that transport class, a whole class. But in what it's very interesting about this series though, or like particular for the series is that they're very specific. Even though they call it Loner from Another World, they're very spending a lot of time to develop the 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 other classmates, like and
Mm-hmm.
what they are and do. And what I mean with that, it's like um, it has its groups, the nerds, the 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 delinquents,
Yeah,
the gym rats, uh,
the popular
the
girls.
the popular girls, and the leader girls, or
Yeah,
like the president,
the
the yeah,
the student councils essentially, right?
like yes, exactly. Um, and we've been given this kind of like death of that he never really uh fell into any of the groups. Maybe talked here and there once in a blue moon with the nerds,
Yep.
but regardless, he did not took part of with any of them.
Yeah.
So he was still a loner in school, and
I
we are being and this starts with like the fact that he already knows what it's about to happen, and he's trying to avoid.
Yeah, I
He
think
believes he
this
can
is like
avoid
one
it.
of the first few isekais that um MC just tries to like avoid being an isekai. Like, oh shit, we're gonna about to get isekai, right? And he's like, nope, I'm out. So he tries his way best to like escape through the bands
Right.
and also like the door
Not
first
let
for.
the light touch. Yeah, not let the light touch him.
Mm-hmm.
Take
With
him. Not let the light take him. Basically.
Yep, and he thought he was safe in the airbanes, but no, he ended up still being sucked in, and like most typical isekais, you get a OP power, right, to start off with, but
Mm,
unlike most, this is like because they're transferring so many people, it's like first come first choose for like which skill they want, right? And what ends up happening is because he's the last one to get isekai, he has like the least amount of options. So he kind of swindles the old guy that's giving him the explanation, or God, I could say, to just like basically give him all the remaining skills that are there because they seem pretty useless.
right. I know that's they made it so specific. Sí, sí te iba a decir, cómetela. ¿Te la pones? ¿Te la pones aquí? Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that to you. There's been they make it very clear the specific rule in this setup world that
Yeah, like they had 50 points, and he basically all the his classmates were taking all the best options, and
yeah, and I love that. Well, it's we're being well, it's being set up that he's alone. He wants to stay a loner. Aside from like liking it that he likes it, it's because his stats are very 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 weak,
yeah,
and he feels like he's gonna just hold people back or be made fun of.
yeah,
Um, so he doesn't want to deal with the whole. He just wants to level up on his own pace, on his own way, since he has such particular low skills, without any judgment, just like he was doing in his other
yeah.
life.
So
You
instead
can
of just
say
reading books, he's gonna focus
just
on
reading
increasing his
books.
strength on his skills this
Yeah,
time, but by himself.
correct. So he made it very clear. He seems to be very sad and made up his mind on how he wants to take on this adventure. And so we see that if he took his skills, he formed his own cave, or his own place. He
Yeah,
set up his own, yeah, his
and I
own
want to say like
home.
that dice skill that he picked up randomly, right? That kind of like gave him like max luck, which was kind of like I think that's very important. Like I feel like that's what's allowing him
Wait,
to
which
just
one?
he
Oh
had
yeah, 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 the luck one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He does say that. He thinks that's what's giving him a lot of boosts on
yes.
the things that is happening to him.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's his
and I
luck
think
one.
it's that is one of the ways that he's kind of become OP because he's gonna get lucky and just start doing things by himself. Like I like we talked about the appraisal skill from the Aristocrat anime and how he
Yeah.
just like somehow got it. Like his eyes got it, or like he got contact lenses that have that ability or something like that. So now he can
Yeah.
identify like objects and enemies and stuff now.
Right, right, right. Yeah, he did that.
So
He was
it's
doing that.
I like that this isn't really
Yeah.
like he asked the he even like tells himself, right, like he's gonna forget about like obtaining overpower skills, but instead he's gonna like make himself OP, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that, we're left on the first episode with the essence of the concept of this series. He has the opportunity of getting discovered or reaching out to his classmates, to all the groups, right?
Yeah, like
So
I
the groups
think
that we mentioned earlier,
mm-hmm.
and he makes the decisions consciously once more to just not take part, just be on separate ways.
Yeah, like the only one we know for sure that he's close with is the vice president, I believe, of because that's his like childhood friend.
Yes, that's the only one, right? That he gives a sort of special, like, um yeah, like acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to everyone else, it's like their exes, like
Like yeah, like all the
like
jocks, all the even the nerds. He can like somewhat like you know vibe with it, but like you said, like he would rather be alone. But
right.
in unlike that, right? He in episode 2 we do kind of see him open up a bit more.
Oh yeah, we see that he definitely realizes that it's impossible to really be always alone and without interacting or
Yeah,
of it. You can still interact to people and then go your separate
yeah,
ways.
and also
Like,
like kind of taught him like because he spent like an entire week without talking to anybody. He when he met
right.
up with the nerds, he was kind of like Well, shit,
Oh,
I
it
don't
was
know how to really
funny
talk
that
to them.
he even leveled up on his loner
Yeah,
skill.
he did because he kept avoiding them, which was like really funny. Uh,
Yeah.
and he did avoid the delinquents though, like not the nerds but the delinquents.
Yeah, yes.
The delinquents were like trying. They heard like a noise, uh, at the beginning, and it was just like the rabbit kind of like saved them, the one that he was hunting.
Oh yeah, his meat when he finally have gotten something else to eat than
Fucking
mushrooms.
mushrooms. Can you
I,
imagine?
I,
Only
I
like
know. I couldn't imagine.
1 week
Like
just mushrooms. You,
I was like, oh no, your meat. That sucks.
I mean, it was either his meat or like they find him, which
Yeah. Which we see that they just trouble. They're just
yeah, like
trouble.
we see the delinquents being delinquents.
Yeah,
Um,
for
big
sure.
big big shocker, right? Because the nerds basically get ostracized and exiled from their camp that they were at prior, right? We get the little
I know
back.
when I was like, oh, God damn it, when they were gonna start that story to explain how it happened, I was like, it's gonna be something super stupid
Yep.
that that totally shouldn't have shouldn't
Yeah.
have gone that way. And sure enough, like
Yep.
they started off good and
Which, by the
strong,
way,
you
I
can
really like
say.
that. It didn't take long for us to kind of get to what happened to the class, because the first episode
Yeah,
was kind of like,
yeah,
oh, this is just how
yeah,
he's living, and then it's like, oh, here comes the other class, and they're like, okay, this is what happened while he was away, right?
yeah. Yes, I
And
agree with you.
we did find out that everybody was from that the class was kind of like in shock. Some were crying, some were like in
Mm-hmm.
disbelief, some just accepted where they were at now, and the nurse were like, yeah, we know what to do. We read all these light novels and shit. We're good. So like when they get
Nerds.
attacked by like
Yeah.
goblins, they're like the first ones to like defend everybody, and then I think it was either the delinquents or the yaks that help them out, like at first, to defend them, right?
Oh. It was good to see that. It was sucked that, man, there will be those people that just don't want to cooperate or don't want to be told what to do, even though they don't,
And
they're
who
not
were
taking
those people again?
initiative. The popular girls,
Yep. Once again, they were
yeah,
like, after a while, they were like, we're kind of overworking, and sure enough, they go down first, and then it's the delinquents that decide, what, we don't need this either. And who gets stuck with all the work?
I'm
The nerds and the
the ones that did all the work.
yep, the
It's
vice
so fucked
president
up.
and the
It's
nerds,
so
like the ones that
fucked
were
up.
like keeping everything intact.
Yep, it's so fucked. How they were really going. They were really doing good, like setting up all those camps,
Yeah,
having everyone do a job. When it came to food, to
just gathering like water.
shelter, yeah, yeah, and water, and yeah. But then one bad apple had
Yep,
to
it ruined
like
the whole
the
tree.
whole
And
batch. Yeah,
even the
and
delinquents were like even worse because they were like plotting at night,
oh,
right? They were
exactly.
trying.
I was gonna say that just gave the delinquents an opportunity to seize the situation to
They wanted to basically
take
take advantage of like the girls in the
yeah
class, basically.
yep.
And luckily for them, like the nerds were like the ones that were like we were keeping an eye on you guys, right? And the vice president showed up, and she just destroyed them with, I think she has lightning abilities or something. We're not sure, but she was able to take care of them pretty quickly.
Yeah, thank God.
Mm-hmm. And of course, after
Because
after they exiled them, the delinquents came back and destroyed the base, and who gets blamed for that?
The nerds. That's how it's that's how they got into that mess.
Yep.
Glad our protagonist gave them a chance and
Yeah.
remember, that people are not so bad, and then having their company isn't bad either. So
Yeah, and like even they were like, out of all the groups in our class, like we actually fit you best. So
yeah,
like, they kind of invite him
right.
to go and become adventurers with them, right? And he's kind of like, nope. But I
Yeah, they
appreciate
did.
what you taught me.
Yeah.
you know.
Glad he grew. He had, he developed that though. Instead of hiding,
Yeah.
now he can like at least,
Cause,
spend some time, enjoy each other's company, or at least, bounce each other's ideas or experience or whatever, and
yeah,
then go to separate ways.
yeah. Like humans are by nature are like, creatures of interaction. We crave interaction. So like him having to like do that right away, kind of like it's probably gonna make it a lot easier now that he's running into more of his classmates, which it's
Yeah.
the popular girls that he runs into that spot him because he want to go check out their camp.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad they turn around
Yeah,
quickly
they
too.
realized,
They
like
recognize, yeah,
they
they
realized
recognize
that with other nerds they were
their
actually gonna have to
shortcomings.
work.
Yeah, their shortcomings.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah,
I
and how good they were having it because of them. Yeah.
mm-hmm. But I do like that our protagonist, Haruka, he was kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, I could tell you where they are, right? But like, is that really something that I should just like give to them, right? He's kind of like, I need to make sure that
Right.
their what is it, their motives are in
They,
the right place,
yeah, they don't bring like, like, yeah,
and
they don't
and that they also won't quit like halfway through.
strategy. So they're there for,
Hmm.
to, yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was a good,
Yeah,
as
but we
is,
we didn't really talk about how they were like begging him to take them under his wing, right? And to like help them
yeah.
survive, and that activated his other skill, his subjugation skill, which is
Oh, that's right.
which is why
That
I'm
was
saying like
that was funny.
the luck
That was
skill is like playing a big part on like a lot of these things, right? Because just
mm,
accidentally like activating them without knowing. And I like when he was like contemplating like what he's gonna do now, right? He was like
right.
drawing mushrooms and stuff, and here comes the vice president. He wasn't even paying her any attention. She was like, "Hey, I'm here," turn around, hey, and then at long last, she like yells. It's like, "Oh shit, you're here!" And now we have the little harem kind of like brewing in here now. I guess we'll see how long these he gets to stay with the popular girls and with the vice president. I feel like the vice
Yeah,
president,
yeah, we're gonna see how this dynamic does.
yeah.
So
Hopefully he figures out how to unactivate that subjugation skill, because he was even getting creeped out by the end, right? He's like, I told him to like do this and do that, and they just do it, right? Like even like when they
yeah, like
attacked
little
the
puppies.
kobold, he was like, oh, I'm scared how they're killing it, right? Because they were like stabbing
Yeah.
it to death. So what if they do that to me? But
That is funny.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna see how where this goes, how this ends.
Oh, for sure, it's a good one. Um,
Hmm.
Another good one that I think we should go on and discuss now is the I'll become a villainess who goes down in history.
Yes, our villainess.
So
That was a good one. Um,
I guess I'll start off
we I really,
I'll
yeah. Go
start off
ahead.
with like the kind of like synopsis of it. It's like typical, like um villainous show. That girl gets sent. sent or isekai into her own favorite otogomo game, otage. You know, like her favorite video game, basically for like where the she loves the villainess. So like she basically becomes her, and
Right.
because she doesn't like the protagonist. She kind of decides, and I'll do things a bit differently than the villainess I adore, and I'll make sure that I go down in like history books as the greatest this time, right?
Mhm.
And that's how she kind of gets absorbed into this world. And you know obviously when she wakes up and her servant and her mom and her dad are kind of like, this isn't like you, right? Because she wakes up early,
Right.
she wants to read, she asks her brother to train her, and it's nice little like.
Well, yeah, she's definitely um a a little girl. Oh, in her mind, she's definitely more grown up, but for her parents and siblings, she used to be a little girl, and
Yeah, she behaved completely different, right? So like,
so so she's definitely acting as not expected, and and even less as she was. But
mm-hmm.
I do like that she seems to be the only girl, right? Like there's
um
only like brothers,
yeah, she has
and
like a ton of
then
brothers, and she's like the only
yeah,
girl.
yeah, a ton of brothers. And then I like that, I don't know. It seems that they have attributes, right? Like there's one of light,
Yeah, so
one of
like each of
water.
the five major nobles, they all specialize in like a certain attribute of magic.
Right.
I think she hers
Right.
is like
Like,
dark magic. I'm not sure,
hmm.
or I don't
Okay, we're
remember what it
still
was, but I know that her family is one of those five nobles, so she has a certain trait of magic, and it seems like um you start developing the magic as soon as you go to school, right? So like they have no books on it, which she tried to find magic books to start practicing her spells, but there was none. So like she's gonna have to wait till she goes to school to really access her magic. But that really doesn't stop her because she starts reading like uh medicine books and stuff, right? She keeps her learning.
uh,
Like she starts
yeah,
reading like 40 books a day or some shit.
something crazy. Yeah, she's like going through the
And of course,
and doing a lot of like push-ups
yeah,
and
because she wants
physical
to train in
training
her
for the
sword
sword.
skills, right? So the
Yeah.
brother's kind of like, you're a girl, so you gotta get your muscles up. So he gives her like the 100 sit-ups and 50 push-ups challenge for like a week.
And she does them, so
Yeah,
that's
which
our villainess.
yeah, and what's really interesting about that, right, is she does him like one day, and then like the next day she does it again, but it's like it doesn't even pain her anymore. Like it almost feels like she adapts, like her body adapts to like every
Hmm.
situation and just makes it easier.
Yeah.
Because like later on she has like she's doing like 300 push-ups a day, 500 sit-ups, you know and 500, and then like she she
Yeah.
she also like after the like week or two, she finally gets to show her brother off by like
Right.
kicking a tree and swinging at the leaves, and it kind of showed him that okay, she was being serious about it, right? Because even before, like, they weren't taking her seriously about training her in
And that's how
swordsmanship.
she captivates the prince.
Yes, she does. I love
The
that.
or the he's not a prince. They call him
A duke.
an emperor. No, what is it? The emperor? No, I can't even remember.
Well,
But yeah, some royal status.
he's
And
the son of the duke, basically, right? Or like
the Duke, right? Yeah.
so like he is kind of like a prince. So like I like that it was like a bunch of princes that were
Right.
like there, right? And they
Yes.
were all like smitten by her, but she was like in the opposite end. She's like, I don't even want to chase any romances here, right? Trying to become a villainess.
Yeah, when they were called upon by the king.
Mm-hmm. And but like obviously like
Yeah.
like Duke gets impressed, right? The main guy with the blue eyes,
Yes.
and you know all of a sudden he starts showing up more and more each day here, and the brother the brother is kind of like taking notice of that, right? And it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
we did see that.
it's like
We see
you're visiting us quite often now. What's
how
new?
he who looks so uninterested in things, it's taking initiative on
Yeah,
someone.
yeah,
Yep, it's
and he's even
definitely
smiling now, right? Like we see him smile
yeah.
more now.
Yes, it was it was definitely cute, especially when are told that in this story, on this game story, the the storyline, it is for him the main the main character in the
Yeah,
game with that that it's that it is known to be the main character because of this rose that symbolizes him when he was born.
yeah.
And
So
same goes to the heroine, right? Because she's the villainess. So
yeah, so
same goes
like,
for the heroine.
so
She has this rose, and it's you know gonna be interesting how that plays into this into the story of our villainess, right?
yeah, because obviously she has to go up against this like fated like destiny that the
Right,
heroine and this duke are meant to be together
correct,
to change the world or something like that, right? And
right,
they like the heroine gets the golden rose, he gets the blue rose, and they have to get married. But like
right,
we see
right.
that the duke is more interested in her, so it'll be like interesting to see how that plays out because, like you
Yeah,
said, it's a little love conflict going on, but nothing
yeah.
nothing that we can't really like
Especially
tell
when
in the
we
first
see,
episode.
especially since we do see that the king is already taking an interest to the villainess when asking, about opinions of
Oh, the king, yeah.
what's happening in
Oh,
the politics.
that was
Yeah,
stellar, right? Because the king was
yeah,
like he kept hearing all these things about her, right? So like he decided, what if I ask her for a certain thing, right? Just play it
right.
off, and then she tells him like the perfect plan, right? Which is like instead of like going to attack a city or something, like you should try to build relationships with this other place that
I
will
know,
eventually
and
like
it was really good.
yeah
Like
that
you
that
should
it
help assist for the independence of this one, so
yeah
you
so
can
helping the king like
build
uh,
trades with
expand right expand like his nation, and in this all the while though she thought she was just being tested by the game to see how villainous she could be. So
it was very neat that she definitely um her her plan is it was really spot on
yeah,
how assist
and that's
them
like
to
where
get
her
independent.
that's where her knowledge of the game actually came in too, right? Because she was
Hmm.
probably aware due to having played this game. So
Right,
it just makes sense. You take that into consideration as well.
correct, yes. So
Mm.
so it was a good first episode, and we and
Yeah, I was
ended with
actually
that
like
note.
really surprised how good it was and how much I really enjoyed it. Because
Yeah.
like there's plenty of like villainous anime, but like this one kind of I like that it's not like taking us straight into like them being like grown up. It's kind of like
Mhm.
helping us like
Mhm. I
build
noticed that
her
too.
original
Yes.
foundation, right? With like her
Yeah.
thousand sit ups now, her 500 plus swings of sword a day. You know, I feel like we'll get a time skip shortly, but I'm enjoying it. Sure. Uh, Now we gotta really talk about one of the big hitters of this season. Can you tell what? Can you?
Danmachi. Danmachi.
Close, close. It starts with a D.
Which one? No, I don't know that one.
DanDaDan.
Oh, DanDaDan, yeah.
First,
That one's good.
start with the opening because I love this opening.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I mean, it's definitely super similar. Mash led, but since this has the DanDaDan name in it, it's really, really neat how it went together with it.
Yeah, and
The
like I told you, like this is kind of like where I based off our name for the podcast on, right? With the
Oh yeah,
Japanese, kind of like from
yeah.
based it off kind of how this DanDaDan is, and you know, you want to tell what the people your the synopsis.
Yeah. I like the setup. I didn't know much about it, but I definitely knew that it was a story that it had zombies and aliens in it.
Mm-hmm.
So um, it was really well interculate um put together both, especially introduce
Mm-hmm.
on how they're going to complement or compare. So it was really, really, really well how like one each each of our main characters um, has his area of expertise with it, and yet is victim the other
Yeah.
of
So
the other area that it's not that doesn't believe in or doesn't it's not into, I guess.
yeah, I do
So
like.
that was a very
Yeah, that's really good, right? Because like it starts off kind of like slowish, right? With we're introduced with Momo first, right? The main girl,
hmm
and
yeah,
she just got
having a boyfriend.
yeah, she just broke up with her boyfriend, tried to kick his ass and failed. And you know she does she does meet our good second protagonist, right? The boy that we find out
hmm
is named after, like during the end of the episode we find out his name is named after the kind of guys she likes, right?
My God, that was hilarious.
But
That was
for the meantime she calls him occult kun because he's crazy, right? He believes in UAPs, right? He gets all this like newspapers to like kind of show proof, and because she protected him from the bullies, he figured, oh, you didn't protect me because you like me, but it's because you like the UFOs, and into that, right? And obviously, Momo was not a very nice girl to him at first because she was like, I just got broken up, dude. Shut the fuck up, right? And she apologizes.
well, to be fair, she's the one that butted into his life.
Mm-hmm.
Then she wanted him to get lost, so it's like, come on, girl, like you totally
Yeah,
went and became the hero to this loner dude. Of course, he's gonna like think that you're his friend. What?
yeah, at
but
least like friendly to him, and obviously
but I mean,
that's how you get
they
off
had to
to.
come across they had to come across each other one way or another. So that's I guess that's the way they
Yeah, it's like
crossed each other's paths. So
mm-hmm. It's one of those, right? Because they're like normal circumstances, she probably wouldn't have paid him any mind at first, but you know, as we know, like later on in the episode, how she also was victim to bullying. How once she saw that our that our good boy Occult Kun was getting bullied, she kind of decided to step in, right? So that was really nice of her. But obviously after that, she couldn't just leave him there. So like they get into a fight, and that's when they do the whole, oh, well, let's make a bet, right? Let's find out who is right.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that.
It,
And
it was a good way to show both areas of it.
okay,
But it's
now I gotta
the
ask you.
animation is very good.
Yeah, the
The
animation is
animation
stellar.
of
Like
like
I love this art style. I gotta ask you,
yeah, the art style and just like the 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 the
the
type
vibe.
of no, the type of characters,
Mm-hmm.
like the demon that possessed the dude, the aliens that abducted her,
Yeah.
just just the the other forms of the other characters that
Yep.
that's
So
part of the story. They also have
yeah. So I gotta ask you though, what did you think of the dialogue? Because first of all, did you watch it in dub or sub?
yeah, I did watch it in dub. I did watch
Okay.
it in dub.
So I just want to emphasize, right, in the sub, the
Mhm.
the the spirit that possessed the boy, the Turbo Granny. She told
Yes,
him,
the voice of
she
One
told him
Piece.
like, I'll let you suck my tit if you let me gobble the wiener. That's how she said it in like sub. I know the dub slightly changed it because they used slang for both.
Yeah, yeah. No, I did not. No, they did not do any of that.
So that's why I think you should try to watch it in sub, because just for that alone, because like slight difference in translations, but like it'll still be good either way. Um, but I'll make sure to let you know of all the other crazy things that happen if you just don't want to watch it in sub. But
hmm
the whole
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say how the voice actor was from One Piece,
yes,
but
that's the other part, right? The granny is
I thought that's where it was
is
going.
Luffy from
Yeah,
One Piece, and the main boy in the Japanese sub is Tanjiro's being. So
yeah.
and the
Mhm.
aliens are also from the voice actor from One Piece as well.
Mm, yeah, but
All right.
they definitely keep this girl naked though. Not that I mind though. She has such a good complex like tone.
I think
Um,
what was really like, this is like the part that kind of will probably like keep most people off, right? This when the girl gets abducted, because like she has hands
yeah,
all
they were
over
gonna
her.
rape her. Yeah, that was a
And
little bit crazy. That was a little bit.
yeah, and
Uh,
they're talking about how like, which is interesting. We get some info on the, at least slight info on the aliens, right? Because they're like, we're all male, so we can't produce, right? So like the only way they reproduce is through cloning. So the reason why they keep abducting people is to take their genitalia, so to study and be find a way to reproduce themselves without having to clone. And of
and
course,
so that was yeah. So that was the story with the aliens. While the story with the ghost is that he's possessed, and I think he stays possessed. He
yes,
hasn't like
he
he
take
hasn't like
well, not
yeah.
possessed anymore, right? Because
Well, we find out that she's a priestess thanks to her grandma. Like,
well,
so,
so a couple of things, right? Like obviously like Occult Kun like shows up through the phone somehow, right? And the aliens are kind of like jarred because they're like, our technology can't do that. What's going on? And we do find out her grandma was like a exorcist, right? And this is where we get like the little backstory of how she told her like, put your hand with one finger up or whatnot, right? Like a ritual to make sure
right.
to keep like the evil omens
Yeah,
away.
her mom is a priestess. She can exercise. Yeah.
And
Yep.
and that's what got her to get bullied, because had to perform that ritual like before going to school, and all the kids teased her about it. And the moment the guy she liked during that time, right, the little boy also started teasing her, that's when she kind of like decided not to do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, hmm that's right. Like there was a whole story why, but I mean, it's interesting how she's so into ghosts, but then she, she, she has a traumatic experience about how she knows about them, So,
Yeah, but I think the reason why she still believes in that, right, is kind of like that's the only real connection she has to her grandmother now, right? Because it seemed like part after she stopped doing the rituals, she probably felt like a certain way about how she interacted with her. So like her keeping this belief that these ghosts exist is kind of like her way of still being connected to her grandmother, which obviously like she says that's all she has now because she has no father and no mother.
it kind of felt like she had forgotten all about her grandma, even though that was like the reason she knows about ghosts and she believes in ghosts. But because when she was talking about ghosts, her grandma, well, the flashback of the grandmas kind of came to play, but that was it. It was when she was in the
So
gutter and needed to really, really like save herself
yeah, so
that
I have
he
like
she
kind of like a thing
really
for that, right? Where she freed herself. It wasn't just the fact that
well
she
her grandma taught her a spell to how to like
yeah
purify herself or like
yeah
like
you
repel bad energies in a way,
yeah,
so
so it's technically like psychic waves or something like that, right? Because um just due to the fact that she was getting like attacked psychically with from the aliens, right? I feel like that also like put a way kind of like because she's already been practicing the rituals and stuff to kind of like help awaken her dormant abilities. And when
well, it
she
has to come from her grandma. It's more like it runs in the family.
yeah,
Your
it runs in the
grandma,
family, but I feel
like your grandma,
like
your
most shonen,
grandma
right? Like in most shonen, you obviously
gives it
undergo
off
like stress, and
so
that's
you
what
can
like
pull it off.
yeah, and that's what helps it like boost up and stuff. So that whole animation though with how she used her psychic powers, that was like really sick.
Mhm.
Like it turned green
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
and then she did the thing
The
from
fact
the
that they kind of just come to terms that they're stuck together
well,
because
so
well because she needs to help him with this whole possessed granny.
yes, so the granny cursed them, right?
Mhm.
So in order to like keep the curse away, she has to keep constantly suppress it with her powers. And lo and behold, like the only way to do it is to beat the granny, right? They have to go back to the tunnel, and I think they have to race her again. But this time, Occult Kun has to win. That's gonna be like the main catch for like whenever they decide to go through that. Um, but yeah, I do like how it started off the episode with her like kicking or attempting to kick her ex, and then like towards the end she ended up kicking, but this time she used psychic powers to boost it. So it's in the aliens flying this time. So I thought that was like a neat uh callback to like the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, that was good. A lot of ways that they eh, put it in the angle they did things was really really good.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
I
And
definitely
and
like this approach of two different worlds, but two different scientifics, sci-fi's
yeah, like,
um
basically
come
like
together.
two conspiracies,
Mm-hmm.
right? Putting two conspiracy kind of like subjects together. And not only
Right.
that, like making it so it's kind of like a love story too, right? Because obviously
Correct.
these two are looking to be like the end game couple, or whenever they decide to be, because the girl does the guy that did fall for her, because obviously he was telling her, like, throughout the my entire time, right, I was always waiting for these aliens to show up, but they never did. And you're like the only person that ever like paid me any mind at all. Like, everybody would just bully him, and he kind of just accepted that that's how things were, and until the aliens would eventually show up for him, but they never did. So, and then she fell harder when she realized his name is Ken, and we got the big explosion in the back. Mm,
Yeah, it was cute.
mm-hmm.
It was cool, more than cute, but
Well,
um,
we can talk about the other one that's a more cutesy anime, the Blue Box.
oh, that was good. The animation is really, really great. Too, it's so beautiful. I really like how we're being introduced to our characters and their stories, and then what their story is going to be.
Yeah,
Um, it's different, it's not a sport anime. Um,
and it's not just a complete romance anime either.
it is it is a complete romance anime. Um, I really, enjoyed the the fact that it's from the guy's perspective, that
Yes.
he's the one in love, that he's the one that wants to
To,
uh make this happen, make this work, like, you know,
yeah,
who has the crush on it.
I like how you know it's obviously he's like smitten by her, right? He even like says so as much, right? And he's constantly being told by like his friend, like, she's the popular one, like, she's not even gonna pay you any mind. You're not even part of like the next round, right? Of like the little tournament that they have in there. So it's like you want to get your popularity up first before you attempt to go after like the main queen, right?
I that friend.
And lo and behold, we have one of his other friends from prior, like the girl, that's like always like teasing him, like whenever she sees him, and it's kind of like, "Ooh, you're having like girl, like a little love talk session here," and it's like, without me. But even through that, I like how much he really is like pays close attention to her, to like the Chinatsu, like the main girl, right? He's in love with, and he even starts like trying to emulate her in a way, right? Because he's like goes to the gym early to get his workout done, like, and not only to like really see her, but to actually focus on his own sport. But it's like the sport is an excuse to be with her, but at the same time he's still chasing his own goal to like play badminton. And and we have like their first like really good interaction with how he finds her in the school by herself. You want to talk about that for a bit?
Uh, th- um, so yeah, I mean, we see that he kind of stalks her. He knows that she is really delicate and ambitious about her sport, and one of the top.
recognize. She
Yeah,
wants to
because
make it else. Yeah, and she know and it's not just talent, it's a lot of hard work. So
mm-hmm.
she goes as the gym opens before class starts and he's there practicing his sports, you know, be with her or have the or try to make the opportunity to talk with her. We see throughout the beginning that they're not really a acquaintance. That he wasn't how he how she had learned his name.
Are you
And
far away from your mic? Because it's kind of like breaking.
um so oh, it's because you were sounding choppy, so I thought it was my head then, but it was still like that.
Okay, continue.
So um yeah,
And it was really, really great to see that they they had she had taken notice of him as well. Obviously, not on the same level as him,
Mm-hmm.
but she had noticed, and I mean, it was just so funny that the first time that we see him going there, with the intent of seeing her, really,
Yep.
um, he gets hit by her basketball.
Yep.
That was funny. But it's really, really nice to, I don't know, he's really open. He's really letting us know what what he's thinking, what he's thought, what's happening, what it's, who she is, and through his eyes, of course, and through everyone's eyes, and that he's really serious about it, and that he knows where his place is, in her life. Like, she she probably doesn't even know that he exists, and
Mm-hmm.
then how he's a loser compared to her, just like his friends, you know, puts it.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm glad that that's that as he says it, right, or he puts it as well, like at the same time, nobody cares or admires as much as he does. And it was really nice that there was a moment where the way that um, he perceives her really, like, make herself recognize the hard work that she's doing, like
Yeah, because
uh,
he
like
finds out that she's gonna move overseas, right? Apparently,
oh yeah,
and that's what
yeah.
like kind of activates his like, oh, I need to let her know how I feel before she goes.
Yeah, yeah, good
And
for him. Good for him of
yeah, that's
getting the
like when
gut.
he like rolls his eye and it's like, I saw you right after you didn't win a nationals, right? And it's
Yeah.
like I've never seen somebody as dedicated as you. And it's like
Yes,
because
it
of
was
that,
really nice.
it made me want to be more like you. And
Yeah, it was really cute way to bond.
mm-hmm. And you know, that's how like she also like acknowledged, like you said, she realized somebody was looking out for her, right? She realized that all her hard
Mm-hmm.
work wasn't gone to waste because somebody else noticed how much she was putting in.
Yep. It was so cute when he even told her that the first time he met her, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
how the way that he really like saw her, like through her through his eyes, like
Yep.
he saw her practicing just like she was right then.
Mm-hmm.
And but she was crying, like she was, she was an emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, he had heard that she has just lost for the nationals to go to the nationals, by a hair, as he put it said.
Yep.
And and I mean, everyone can imagine how frustrated that must have been for her,
Yeah.
especially with how hard she works.
Yeah. Which
And
which I think is like a really differentiating part in her sport and his, right? Because like for
right.
her sport it's like a team sport, so even if she works her hardest, it's not just a her, right, thing, but she feels it just as much as if it was her fault for letting the team down. Whereas,
Yeah, that was really, really interesting.
but
How like
well,
how
like,
they each take on this sport, one,
mm-hmm,
or how like they both take it as it depends on them to win it or not. But one is, a team sport and the other one is not.
yeah, because
So,
like the guy, like Taiki said, right, the Batman, he likes knowing that all the pressure is on him, like, so
mm-hmm,
he doesn't like it when the winning relies on somebody else that's not him. So that's why he chooses a solo sport.
right. So that was good. That was a good way to set them to to let us know their dynamics. Um,
Which is kind of
and
like funny to think about, right? Because now let's add Taiki's like analogy to the relationship that he wants to build with Shinatsu. It's gonna rely solely on him whether it moves forward or not, right? Whereas for her, it might rely on both of them. Both of them like confessing to one another um, at some point.
yeah, you know what? I I was like, okay, so this is not a sports anime. It's definitely a romance.
It's
And then, but I was really not. I really did not see that coming of them being in that sibling situation. Living together, same
yeah, that's a
same
nice
house.
twist that they have, right? Be-
Yeah, that really caught me off guard. Like even though they were putting its clues,
yeah,
like
like Taiki saying like his mother was part of the team at the school, and Chinatsu later
right.
saying like her mother was also part of the team, right? Or like also played basketball or something like that. And now
Yeah, and
they're
then the
like buddy
mother
buddies.
saying that kept in touch and how she knew they were going out of scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could tell that she was getting ready to say something else when he just took off and,
Yep.
wanted to talk to her about it. And,
Yep.
and then,
But
embarrass himself, but pretty brave of him to
yep. And
do
I
that.
gotta say, aside from ReZero, this is my favorite. You know,
Oh
first
yeah, it's
episode.
really, really cute. It's really, really cute. I really liked it too because that twist really is going to not complicate things because as we know or see, he was already on the stalker,
I mean, it's just now he doesn't have to stalk as much, right? Now he can
Yeah,
just
exactly. That's what I mean. Like now he has like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
he has
now he
a
doesn't have.
he's able to have a closer observation without the need to hide, right?
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah. I mean, they can still do it, but it's gonna take a whole other aspect and yeah, an angle. So it's gonna be good.
yeah,
Now they can feel like they do, yeah, they're together in it, going to the gym.
exactly. I'll tell you
Not.
what's getting also complicated around this part. The Danmachi
Oh
episode.
my God, yeah, always. The
So,
Machi and the mystery of every single character of it.
yep.
Like,
So, I want to start off by saying I did not think this the maid serpent girl was gonna be as important as she is. Um,
yeah,
so you know I might have to do a rewatch of it, but I do remember the girl that gave him lunches. I did not realize she felt so entitled to Belle, right? Um, because now like
It seems like everyone in that series feels entitled to Belle. So,
yeah, apparently so, but
except for the elves, except for the one that it happens
yeah.
with.
So we start off with the everybody in the Belle's crew is getting ranked up, right? The only one that doesn't get a rank up is Belle, which is kind of BS, and they're kind of calling Hestia out on it, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want him to grow up that quickly, right? So I didn't ask for a recheck on his levels." She was like,
Yeah,
"He just went through something extreme. I think we can do without him, going to level 10 while you guys are level threes."
right.
I don't know, like our good girl, Ryu is kind of like avoiding Belle ever since the last season, the end of last season, and
Right. She
the
feels
our
so
maid girl like
embarrassed.
notices that Ryu kind of starts developing feelings for Belle, and
Yeah,
oh
so,
boy, you want to take away their little talk that they had?
well, so it was really nice to see that Belle went to celebrate because that seems like a very like a spot for them, that restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to, celebrate their win, their success, and he saw that Rio was there and
Mm-hmm.
wanted to, and then realized that things were awkward because of everything that they went through. And but at the same time, it was them that went through it together.
Yeah.
So so
He
he reached out to talk to her
exactly.
to to just kind of like reminisce and be glad that they succeeded, that they got away with it, they survived it. And she's being awkward as fuck because she doesn't understand anything, and he definitely doesn't realize anything either, or it's
Yeah.
a little bit that he does, but he doesn't really want to pay so much mind. And
Mm-hmm.
then it was really cute, that conversation they were having
Yeah, and then she
in the
backflips him.
in the bench, and how like she's trying to kind of be honest of how she feels awkward and embarrassed around him, and he's like, oh no, he seems to be wanting to stay close to her. I really thought that was kind of like cute
Yeah.
because Belle, like you kind of put it, and we kind of already know, like, guess Chase or just um taking over, not he's not taking over, but like not manipulate, but like, talk into, or convince, or always like,
Who we
yeah.
talking about? We still talking about Ryu?
No, like we just I'm just saying how like they use Belle, like it's always like, oh, everyone wants a piece of Belle, like, and everyone's always like coming for Belle in a way, but it's
Right.
really cute for Ryu, for the elf. Belle is the one that is always like, but like reaching out, on like the one, it's the opposite. He actually tries to not bother him, not,
Mm-hmm.
inconvenience him, not, getting his
Yeah, she
hair.
didn't want to be like all these other ladies that are always after Belle, right?
Yeah, yeah, and feel entitled of him, right?
Yeah,
She's more of like, no, I don't, I
because she doesn't really
it's
understand her own
cute,
feelings yet.
exactly, but it's cute because that gives Belle the opportunity to do it, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
the other girls don't even give Belle the opportunity to do it,
Oh
so
yeah.
that gives Belle the opportunity to do it, and he does it. He loves her, like he cares for her, and and it's really cute for them to have those moments
Mm-hmm.
always. Yeah. And of course, that's what our maid sees,
Mm-hmm.
and since they all know that they were the ones that were more, most time alone in the dungeon and really were the ones that conquered the dungeon, gives you, an idea of the closeness of relationship they must have developed, in
Yeah,
that.
and she didn't like that.
So, so of
Seer did
course,
not.
you know, of course, someone's gonna be jealous of that,
I like
Um,
how she
so
kind of
she
like,
tries to just kind of say, like, straight up be like, uh, like, back off. Let me have at it. let me,
yeah, she kind of like manipulates like
yeah,
Rio, right? Because
he did
she
like,
kind of like
oh,
uses
will
the
you be
fact
mad?
that she saved her to kind of like
Exactly, she
to kind
did
of like
that,
say
and
like you're
she
not gonna get in between me and Belle, right? Because I'm gonna go firm.
right,
So that's how it felt to me, right? Because and Ryu obviously being the kind-hearted soul that she is, she was
and
like,
then being like, you're not gonna be hurt that I go after him, right? Like,
yeah,
you knew that I like him, and you're going after him, so like, it's just
yeah,
like,
like
a
she knows.
damn bitch,
She
like,
straight up asks her, right? Like, do you like Belle, right? And then she's like,
like, damn bitch, yeah.
obviously, like,
She's just making a real deal, like a real fight of it, and she's like, no, 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 but that definitely starts giving us a sense that this is not ordinary girl as she tries to appear,
yeah, like the
like
Freya
so,
family like sent somebody to invite Kun to
mm,
the goddess festival where she plans to like date Kun for the evening or whatnot.
so the fact that it has deep connections, or strong connections with the Freya family really,
Yep,
really is
that was
something.
like a big twist that I did not see coming,
No, I did not see that one coming
and
either.
what I really found like kind of interesting, right, is that just like Belle has his own little community, right, or fan club, fan club, right? I should say.
Hmm.
So does this maid girl in the Freya family, right? Because
Yeah, we saw that's definitely true.
so
And one goes after a bell.
mhm.
Like, what? Fuck you. Like, fuck. He went he he went ham. Like,
Yep,
he went
I think
not even giving him a chance to even know what was happening. Like,
nope.
fuck.
Belle
Poor little bell.
was just walking. She's like, I'm gonna go see her. I'm gonna go see her. I'm gonna see what's up with this goddess festival, and
What this
boom,
is
come.
about. Oh yeah, because she even manipulated the whole situation, right? Like,
Hmm.
she's like, you can really tell, like, I mean, not that I calculative more than manipulative in
No,
this aspect for
she
this
was
one.
very
For
manipulative
the
against.
letter, for the letter, I think it was more calculative.
The
Like,
letter
she
was
just wanted
calculated,
to.
but
Yeah,
her
that's what I
attack
meant. For the
on
letter.
Ryu was very manipulative.
Oh yeah, yeah, that one, yeah, that one, yeah. No, I was talking about the letter, like, just letting her feelings be known.
Hmm.
Wanted, she didn't want to tell him in his face, and then it would be laughed off as like a joke.
Hmm.
She wanted it to make it very official, so he can, know what's up, basically about her feelings, which I
Yep,
thought, okay, not,
very respectable.
but yeah, exactly, and plus, like, people like Belle need that kind of clarification and like reassurance and like
Yeah,
clarity, like it's like straight up, like,
yeah. She doesn't want to be just part of his little fan club that he has. Which, by the way,
yeah,
they all signed like a ceasefire, right? Like none of them are supposed to like attempt to get together with Belle. that's what they all agreed on, and then here comes the maid girl, the like I wasn't part of that, so like bye, you know. Okay,
Oh, Belle.
we talked about most of the episode. Just one more part, but I gotta ask you, how do you
Mhm.
feel about the ending of Danmachi? The ending song, the ending visuals and stuff.
The ending credits, like the ED.
Yep, the ED.
Okay, I liked it. It was beautiful. I mean, it was gorgeous, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
It was our Freya,
Just walking.
villainess. Yeah, just walking, but it was a beautiful art, like
Yep.
because her outfit is it's so neat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was yeah, we're back. I really like this
Yeah, we're so
this
back, and
yeah this series because it's like my hero in a way
yep.
where um a simple kind of point it's done so like emotionally beautifully, like
Mm-hmm.
so but this is very like I don't know fantasy and lots of other it's very different obviously at the same time, but
Yeah,
I
but
really love but I
it
love that something so simple can be put so intense, you know, like
yeah,
feel so emotionally intense and be so beautiful, so
yeah. So
that's
you feel like more how you can feel so attached with something, right? Because the characters
exactly.
are
Even
all
though it's
lovable.
obviously fake, like from all around, dungeons and elves
Mm-hmm. And apparently
and the gods
secret
and
mates
gods and
that have
family
secrets, right? Because we do end the
and
episode with the ending credits of like Freya confronting the maid,
yeah, of
which is like,
her having a straight up connection with Freya
mm-hmm.
and
Which
getting
by the
permission from her.
yeah, under a condition though, her identity was not to be revealed. So,
I know, makes it hard for us to really know what, you know, if they're gonna tell us who she really is, what she is.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
hopefully
don't know.
we'll find that out soon because, like you said, Danmachi is one of
Sooner. Or
those great ones that we just can't get enough of. Just like,
Mhm.
and I'm glad you brought up this connection because we can kind of move on to my hero.
Mhm.
Talk.
My hero. My God.
So,
My hero.
th-
It's so
obviously,
good.
this is a major Toga and Ochoko chapter. Or
Finally, they get their moment.
yeah,
Because we've been getting teased about you know they're going at each other, having a personal for each other for
mm-hmm,
a whole season now, for like a whole 2 seasons more. Well, for the whole entire season series, but this past 2 seasons have been really, really like every opportunity they
they
spot each
wanted to
other.
like
Yeah,
make us know that
yeah,
these are like gonna be their like final confrontations, right? Like these are gonna be like they need each other essentially, right? Because
right.
we do get more Toga backstory, right? In this episode.
It was really great. That we did get more Toga's story and from her childhood, right? How
Yeah.
how she just kind of made the decision, or how she made this decision, um, of of being a villain, and living the villain life.
Yeah.
Um, it
Well,
was
I want to say she didn't really make the decision, right? Because it feels like people were pushing her towards that decision because
well, yeah. It was like where she felt normal, where she felt like she wasn't being that it wasn't right for what she wanted and she loved to do, right? Because
yep.
she never understood how, because when she opened up to her to Ochako, uh, she she said that, why is it wrong to suck the blood of people that I love? Because that's just
Yeah, because like
what I do when I love someone.
yeah,
And I was told I was wrong. Like, why is that so wrong?
yeah, it
And
was
and I like that she said that of that after she had offered her own blood, right?
mm-hmm.
Hey, if you like me so much, I'll give you of my blood, you know. But
Yeah,
she also calls her out on her bullshit,
yep,
I will never understand, you know, um, how hurting someone or bringing them pain, it's something to, smile or be happy about. And you're right. I happen to have a power that it doesn't necessarily harm anyone. And I make the choice if I am to drop them, and I'm not,
yeah,
and I don't see myself doing something like that.
yeah.
So it's like,
I also like though that even before all this conversation started happening, right? Even
right,
Froppy was kind of chiming in on what was going to happen, right? Because they were talking about how certain rules were put in place, right? And people that understood those rules were kind of called heroes, and the people that didn't understand the rules were kind of called like were said to be villains, right?
yeah,
And that kind of like sets kind of like the tone of like, is a hero just supposed to follow the rules, or can the heroes like deviate from the rules to do
hmm
to
and it
really
was
do what
really
the heroes
cute
need to do?
for Froppy to say that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when Toga was avoiding Ochako, he
Mm-hmm.
was like, that she's going against the rules. Like, she's not trying to kill you. She's not trying to restrain you, and she's not trying to jail you. She's just really trying to talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Like they
Like
wanted a
when.
open conversation, and obviously Toga
Hmm.
didn't want to give that to them because she tried, right? Like in the last season, she tried to like talk to Ochoko, and she was
Yeah,
turned down.
and
But obviously, Ochoko back then said was like, I wasn't willing to understand you back then.
mhm, mhm,
It's like
yeah,
now I see that that was the wrong decision that I made. I'm trying to like
yeah,
correct
and I
that.
like that it was a moment of clarification, and she was also trying to call Ochako on her bullshit and said that she
Mm-hmm.
didn't need her pity or wanted of her pity or be part of her achievements or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ochako's like, no, it's actually not even about that. And then just like, so it's about your ego. And she's like, actually, you might be right. It's about my own will. It's about
Yeah, and
my own wants. Like, this is what it's just what I think I want to do, and what I want to talk about love with, like,
yeah, and
we
other
have the
things
we
that
have a crush on the same guy.
yeah, we
So
and speaking of that, we found out the reason why she has a crush on Deku, right? And that's because there's like another person that sort of looks like Deku that she used to like prior.
yeah, but it's so funny that we didn't get a picture of that or a memory of that. We just get Deku's face in that.
No, it was a different
So,
Deku. It was like a person that looked like Deku. Like the hair wasn't green; it was like bluish.
oh, you're right. I thought it was Deku. But you're right now that now
They have
that
like
you
the
say
same facial
that.
structure, but like no, the hair
Yeah,
was
you're right.
blue.
But the hair was black blue. Yeah,
Yeah.
instead of green black. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I was like, that just looks like that's just Deku. I said, I was like, oh, but it's because it looks exactly like.
Yeah, he does. Could be like his lost twin. We don't know where his dad is, by the way. So
Yeah, honestly, that's the mystery of MIA, and it's so kind of ironic when they spend so much time on the villains and their stories and
mhm.
their families.
Yeah. Speaking of villains, we do have like little. other memory from Ochako, right? When they're like when Twice is trying to get her to choose a villain name, right? They're kind of talking about how that's
Yes.
the cool thing to do, right? And basically,
Yes.
Shigaraki kind of chimes in. It's like, you know, names like for names like that are just like chosen, right, to be able to identify people, right? And it's like that's
Yeah.
and what I'm about to do doesn't won't because what Shigaraki wants to do is like take the entire system down. So he's like, when I'm done with it, we won't need that anymore. So there will be like
Yeah.
no right or wrong sides, right? So and that's how like that's how Ochoko kind of realized, oh, being with the League of Villains is what I need to be because that's what lets me be
Mhm.
me. Like she was never allowed to
Mhm.
be herself
Allowed, but yeah.
because her
Yeah.
her quirk made
Allowed.
her want to drink blood, and people found that unnormal, and she never understood why that is, and the villains allowed her to be her, and that's why she chose to be with them. And through this, we do have her like kind of do she does injure Ochako quite gravely. By the way, she stabs her, you know,
Mhm.
and all the blood loss is kind of like I think all the blood loss for Ochako made her awaken her quirk, right? Because now she's able to make people float without touching them,
Mhm.
which is what
Yes, that was great.
Toga was able to do, like when she transformed into her too, I believe. Um, so and it was really good because like prior to that we had the reporters or whatnot. They were like seeing the amount of twice clones that were being created, and they were like, oh, this is not looking good for the heroes. Like they were about to be overtaken by all the clones. And yeah, you want to talk about the big scene when Toga finally accepted Ochako?
Sure. So it was really uh, nice when she opened up and said that she was just not, trying to find her place and didn't understand that the things that make her smile and happy were not considered things to make smile and happy others. Um, so it was really nice. I really liked the vibe that they were doing
Mm-hmm.
because even Toga was like getting the fluffy feeling that if they would have met, if she would have encountered the person that would have accepted her,
Mm-hmm.
like Ochako did,
Mm-hmm.
like it was really cute to see her as a little girl just pulling out her arm, like you know, giving her
Like
giving trying to give her blood, like offer herself to
yeah,
in
like
her blood. It was really, really, really cute,
yeah,
like I thought essentially that's the gesture that Toga didn't understand why it was so wrong of her to eager for or to want, like
yeah, like
I
she
I really feel like getting that gesture or getting that feeling from Toga that from Ochako that it's she's willing to do that for her
mm-hmm.
or feels that she really felt understood, right? Like she
Yep,
really did, like obviously.
that's how she
Like
felt
and
understood.
that's that's when she felt understood and she just opened up, She
Mm-hmm.
started saying like, how her parents never accepted her,
Mm-hmm.
how her friends of villains did, and she was just and then she liked them Isuku and her, but she again didn't understand why they couldn't be together or couldn't like
Accept her as well.
um yeah, like have a relationship, or have like a, yeah, like be able to talk because, like you said in earlier when she was just trying to talk to Ochako, she was just being so like ignored, like she didn't even was worth time, like
Mm-hmm.
for that kind of like relationship or that kind of aspect of 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 acknowledgement, right?
Yep.
And it was really, really it's really nice because it's that simple, it can be that simple, and I love that
Yeah, I love how this is like an
she wants
overarching
to
theme,
she
right?
wants
In My Hero,
yeah, I know, yeah.
where like the villains
I
are
mean,
always
they're in love
misunderstood.
with this. They're like they have known they have the crush on the same guy, and it's just like neat that they were able to bond to to really bond and then understand each other in a deep with a deep connection because of it,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed especially how she felt that that guy was leaving her because the blood was finishing, right? Like
Yeah,
it was
like the blood
ending.
basically like she
Yeah.
the blood was leaving her system now, so like that was all the quirk
So
had,
he
right?
yeah, so she was so sh um the little bit of him left that she had of him,
Yeah.
with her of him was like, disappearing. It was and we can see that what was driving her crazy and emotional, it was the fact
Mm-hmm.
that one of the peoples that made her feel comfortable and happy and glad to be alive had been killed so easily
Brutally.
and so discarded,
Yeah.
like he didn't matter, like, when for her it he
Yeah.
was someone so important.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice that he was able to build or to create something important with Ochako,
Mm-hmm.
and that it could replace that tragedy or grief, or at least, distract her from that grief and hurt. So that
Yeah.
was beautiful. And then the way that she opened up to her, oh, I'm in love too. I like this. Do you think I'm cute? When I smile. I
Yep.
mean, it's like, and then Ochako, how she was. Oh, that was another part.
Yes, because
How
she like asked,
how
because
she
Ochako was like
notices
saying how she loved her smile, right? Like she
loves
never.
her smile and would notice when she would be crying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she noticed when she was crying in last season when
Mm-hmm.
Ochako was kind of like not trying to talk with her or like dizzying her, like
Mm-hmm.
dizzying her talk. And then right now when her friend was gone, like and yeah, so um she would acknowledge her feelings, straight
Yeah.
on. And that's always nice, especially when you feel so hurt and alone,
Yeah. So
so
isolated from society too, right? Because that's like the big
oh yeah.
overarching theme in My Hero, where like this
Mhm.
society that was built up to be perfect is the cracks are finally like showing up, and you know
Right.
the way they were treating people, you know, like people's quirks, like Toga's quirk, right? People saw that as not normal or like villainous, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of the label they put on her, which is also it kind of parallels how like Shinso, the one that brainwashes people, they consider his quirk kind of to be evil as well. But but due but due to his circumstances and through Aisawa like kind of like taking him in, right? He had that acceptance that Toga never got, and
Yeah.
that's really what they need, right? They need acceptance. They need somebody to be watching them so that they don't feel left out. They don't feel wrong in
Mm-hmm.
this society. So
Correct. It was really
yeah, and then
good.
like obviously Toga just like answered with like, "Do I am I cute?" And she smiles, and Nochako's like, "Yep, the cutest, right?" Very very touching, and yeah, no, my hero has been great. I am surely gonna miss our conversations after next week.
Yes, I cannot believe just one more.
hmm Luckily, we have other stuff we can talk about, but you know, like Blue Lock.
Yes, Blue Lock, our egoistics,
Our our
another ego.
our egoists are back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna start off by saying like, you know, this episode, Blue Lock, Blue Lock's, was really BLing, right? So much BL in Blue Lock right now. Or did you not feel it?
So much what?
BL?
So much deal?
Hold on. Blue Lock, like BL,
Yes. BL?
B.
Oh, that's and BL. Oh, okay. Blue Lock. Yeah, I mean Blue Lock. Um, yeah. Damn.
All right. Um.
We we started with the brother just being a torment to our boy, which was a nightmare,
Yeah.
luckily. But I guess we're really getting the true feeling or the reality of the rivalry or the relationship or their ambition or goals or whatever, between those two.
Yeah. So
And where a friend is getting his ego or gets ego fuel
yeah.
for
So
sure.
it really. I like this mini backstory we got right off the episode, right? Because it's like you said, it sets off the tone of like the rivalry that's about to take in this season,
Mhm.
and really like the motivations for Rin, because
Mhm.
obviously like him, Sai and Rin were like kind of playing together as kids growing up. You can see that, right? Because Sai was like, I was gone for 4 years, but you haven't like leveled
Oh
up,
my god.
and just like
Yeah.
makes a fool out of him, right? And kind of like he severs his connection by scoring that goal, right? So it kind of like instantly lets you know that Sai is no longer really close with Rin anymore, and that's why like Rin wants to win Blue Lock to be able to show his brother that he made the wrong choice by leaving him behind.
Right. That was intense. We're gonna definitely see
Mm-hmm.
how that ends because
I mean, we know that
we
he's the captain. He's the
he's
cap.
the captain. He's
He's the
part
cap.
of the team they need to go against.
Yep.
So it is, you know,
It's a fight of the
expected
brothers.
or known unavoidable for them to go against each other. And I mean, and that was the goal. I mean, that was they were preparing for that, or at least Rin is supposed to,
Which
is the
right
one
away really like
catching up.
yeah, which really brings to question, right? This backstory kind of like you get an idea of why Rin back in the first season was saying like, uh basically the soccer field is a war field, right? You have to be ready to
Mhm.
die because part of him died when Sai left them, you know, and
Yeah,
this is just the start, the first like 3 minutes, and we talk so much about it, but how'd you feel about the opening?
oh, the opening was great. I love that. I and the ending. No, the ending we didn't get the ending. We only got their
Mm-hmm.
little chibi pictures, which I
Oh, the
love.
additional time? Yeah, we can talk
Yeah,
about that in a bit. Uh,
I love that. I love that about Blue Lock. But No, the opening was great. The colors were amazing.
Oh, the
It
colors are
reminded
great.
me it reminded me a lot of DanDaDan,
Kinda.
but this one sticks with is because it's colorful, but it's not as colorful as loud. I want to say
Hmm.
it's
I feel like this
very
has
very neat.
the thing about DanDaDan is I think DanDaDan has like less shades, right? And this one you can see there's like different shadings. So
Mhm,
I think there's like
yeah.
different levels to it, but yeah, opening is great. I love it visually and the
Yeah,
song.
I love that green with that blue. It's been so great
Hmm.
to see those two be so brought up to life in such a sublime way, like in sublet, like very, very low key.
Hmm.
So love it. Love the OP.
Yep.
Definitely.
And now we get
And then we get to
to the
see,
episode. Um,
yeah, we get to see them being split up for their next challenge.
yeah.
So
We do. We do get
and we
to
get to see that our MC doesn't have it easy, right?
know.
Um,
So our
he,
MC is not even like doing MC things yet. Like
mm-mm.
he's not top six. He
Nope, no.
and most of all, uh, He's kind of contemplating which road he has to take now. You know, because Rin
Yeah.
and Shido get paired up as number one and number two, and then we have Glasses Boy with Nagi.
Mm, Nagi, good for Nagi though.
Yeah, Nagi with the white hair, and then we have the ninja, and then the other guy that's fast. I you know um I That's a pretty good pair, right? Those six are pretty good. It was based off like I feel like they said Rin and Shido were like the only ones to score on the big five that they brought in at the end of last season. So that's why they were one and two, and then the others were just like based on performances. And
Hmm.
basically, these three teams are gonna have matches against one another, and the remaining 29 people have to choose which team they want to lead
Yeah,
on. And the
that's
catch
nice.
is
And he's always.
yeah, the catch is they only have one match to show off that they belong in the U20 match.
Mhm. For
So
sure.
so the pressure is already set right there and there. And our boy like Isagi was just kind of like, well, I'm either gonna go with Nagi or with Ren, right? Those are like the two choices he's
Mhm.
contemplating
Yeah,
between. With Nagi, he knows he has instant
that's
connection
the
with.
only two choices, basically.
Mm-hmm. So with Nagi, he gets instant connection that he knows he can work well with. With Rin, it's kind of like an uphill battle because he has to outshine Rin for Rin to like even attempt to like connect with them well, right?
Mhm.
And this is when like our boy Ego, which is like still like probably one of the best characters in the show, right?
Yeah.
He kind of separates the top six and breaks it down for like the diamonds in the rough here. Like yeah. So they're not gonna hear what I have to say to you, but you guys have to either like assert yourself or coexist. But most of all, you have to not want to be on a team where you don't shine. You have to want to be in a team that you can use to catapult yourself, right? To step on, to move on. So he's already setting the tone that everybody has to want to fight for their spot. And
Yeah. Well, he's definitely putting them against each other.
yeah, which is the goal of Blue
He
Lock
knows.
anyway, right?
Yeah.
Where like only one of them is gonna be able to like essentially be the main striker at the end anyway. So like putting them against each other now is kind of like what needs to happen. And then he gets the top six, and he basically lets them know, hey, your only job is to not allow them to like dethrone you, but you also have to consider how to use them as your tools, right? To further advance yourself or further cement yourself in the team, right?
Mhm.
And which I love how like you said, Ego just putting them up against one another, and and from that we still have like the little scenes we get in the cafeteria where Team C meets up again. You want to take that?
The what takes up again?
Team Z, you know, from the first season,
Easy. Oh.
from the first election.
Well, well, I just the what I want to share is that I really really like that they need to put thought into their teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a strategy to the challenge that the the main the ego guy, the main ego guy is doing, which is set up the top six as the leaders,
Mm-hmm.
and then have them do five five matches, which is a pretty good amount of practice to get a feel of what they can do as teams. Now that things are getting serious and
Well,
smaller.
it's not five
'Cause
matches. It's 5 people per team, and they only have one match that they play on.
really,
Yep.
because the way that oh, I guess oh yeah, they only have one match. Oh, they have oh yeah, because one is a swinger.
The only one
Okay,
that gets
so
like
no,
multiple matches is Bachara, who gets 2 because
right. Who gets two? Yeah, but there's five. We're gonna get to see like five matches, but yeah,
yeah, we get
they
to see
don't.
5 matches, but in those 5 matches, like um,
Yeah, we
each
get to
team only
see,
face
but
each other once, essentially.
yeah. You're right. That's what's happened. But still, that's enough matches. Um, you know, to really see how they're going to what positions they can take aside from the usual one, right? That is front runner, because they really need to come to terms that they're going to have to maneuver other positions if they want to win, right?
Yeah,
And they
because
need to
now,
figure out what what they can do. So, or how they're going to do it. So, that's part of the setup that makes it challenging, and the reason why they have to put so much thought into what team they're going to go into
mm-hmm.
and or take part of, and they make their decisions. And I was really thinking like, okay, what if everyone wants to go to the same team? Does everyone get to go to the same team?
uh,
Like, do they really choose which team they go to? Like that was
yeah, it was a big
sort of
mind game for sure. Like,
yeah, it was a little vague on how they were going to be selected at the end, like how it was going to be decided.
mm-hmm.
For how each team was going to be decided. So,
Yeah,
but whatever. We at least just kind of see them doing the whole thought process of
mm-hmm.
which team they or which um, team leaders they think it would work for them. It was really really intense to see that purple guy right coming to Isagi. I think is no,
Yeah,
what's his
Isagi.
name?
Yep.
Yeah, and and letting him know that he's also struggling to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Well, I thought you were just gonna pick Nagi like always." And he's like, "That's rich coming from you when you basically destroyed it."
Yep.
Like, damn. It's definitely and then they look back at that red hair guy that really did help them last season.
Mm-hmm.
So um I have, you know what? Still need to watch the movie,
So do
but
I. But it
yeah, I need to watch the movie.
so
So, but yeah.
speaking of the movie, I just want to say like it's just a recap of what Nagi went through. So it's
Oh,
not
really?
yeah, it's nothing major that you'll need.
Oh, okay, okay,
The only thing
okay, okay.
that I heard
Good to
from the
know.
movie was that you get a teaser of the U20 team, basically. So that's all that was important for it. But
Okay.
so to add on to what you were saying, right, about the choices, it's not only just like who they can work well with, right, but essentially these are the people that you have to feel like you can take down too. That's another aspect that Eagle was trying
Mm-hmm.
to get at them, right? You have to either learn to coexist with them or be able to take them down. Those are your only two
Mm-hmm.
options, right? But obviously, if you
Mm-hmm.
coexist with them, there's a less likely chance of you being selected, right? Because you're not. Ego wants those people that strive to win, not strive to cozy by. So that's what made it like really interesting, adding that added layer to selecting the teams, and because of that, that's why people didn't all want to go with Ren, right? Because they're like, we're not gonna be able to take him down, you know. We're so that we are gonna pick other teams that we feel we can take down to shine better with, right? And I do like the little downtimes we have where people are just gathering, and eating food. We see the weak
Yeah, that's
squad,
true.
the weak squad show up, and they're kind of like reminiscing of like their time in the first selection and how not all of them are there anymore, right? Because the goalkeeper kind of got taken out. The guy that betrayed him also got taken out during the second selection, and then of course the main boy, uh, Kunigami, also was gone. And they're like, of all the people that could have left, that was the least one that they expected to go. Right? Which is like, it just goes to show that no matter your how good you are, there's no guarantee that you are gonna make it through, right?
Right. It was
Mm,
definitely,
mm,
yeah, it was good moments to to kind of go over what they gone through and what could happen there and
mm-hmm.
what is to develop. We also saw that the Japan team doesn't want to give their place so easily, and they're
Oh, okay.
really, having
So I really
uh
wanna talk about this part, right? Because this is
yeah.
like some of the juicy stuff. Because this is like you said, this is the U20, right? The 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 Japan Federation president, basically, right? He wants to run the U20 team as and like the Blue Lock as a business aspect of it, right? He's not worried about the football aspect to it. He just wants the money that comes along with the football stuff. So basically, they're trying to like destroy Blue Lock so that they can just keep profiting off of sending players overseas and not really care about like the World Cup winnings and stuff like that. And that's what Ego doesn't like about them, right? Because his plan is to revolutionize Japan to make it a country worthy of winning the World Cup one day, right? And that's where kind of like the conflict resides. He's using up too many resources. He's in the red, and they're not making any money out of it. So that's why they want him out. And his only option is to make sure the Blue Lock people make sure the Blue Lock kids win and take the U20 spots. I know you can talk about the U20 stuff of the team that doesn't want to lose.
Yeah, it was definitely political,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm curious to see how they manage or think they have managed to confirm they got the best from Japan, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they do um like they do like
They got Sai.
affirm and make clear that no, they already have the best players there is in Japan. There's no others, you know,
Hmm.
no others but the ones that are here could do any better, you know.
And not
They
just
already
that,
have
right?
what
Not just that, but
they already have
yeah,
what's good out there.
not just that, but also they have all the best players supposedly in each position, and all Blue Lock has is strikers. So like,
Hmm.
so like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they already did that, you know, whatever Block is doing, they already have that. So it's really about like I don't know, in a way, luck, I want to say. It's not much about talent or work, but you know, some things it's just about how it plays out
mm,
or it happens that gives you the advantage or disadvantage. And we're gonna see for them, you know, if if they seize the opportunity or you know may or
Rumble.
yeah or made because some can force the opportunity like you can
Well, yeah,
create
because
the opportunity in a
like,
way
like Ego
so
said in last season, right? Luck is something you create yourself, right? So,
yeah yeah
so
mm-hmm.
this
Yeah,
is the
so we're going to see what we're going to have to see that, you know, like it has
yep,
to be a, a combination of those or one of them for them to come on top. And they were told if
yeah,
they don't come on top, it's already done for them. This is
yeah.
it. So.
Lucky for Ego, like the way he has it set up, right? All his players are gonna, whoever he picks, are just gonna be hungrier than the Japanese people because this Japan team obviously is like um hasn't gone through what they've gone through. They don't have the same pressures that they have, right? So like from the pressures that they already have, they seem they seem to already want to create their own luck, right? Whereas these U20 players are kind of like, I don't want to say being babied, but it seems like they're being babied, right? And
Yeah.
even more so because they have to take in like the prodigy to face the U20, right? To face the Blue Lock people, which is Rin's brother Sai, right? He's the one that's gonna be leading the charge. And if you remember, like in the first season, he said he wants nothing to do with the Japan, right? Because he didn't feel like his talents were worthy of Japan, and because Blue Lock exists, he's like, okay, these are the kind of people I want to see what they land, right? So for Sai, it seems like his intentions are more with the Blue Lock people, but at the same time he cannot like just forfeit it, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna yeah, well we already got a nice little start
Mm-hmm.
to this competition. So they need to beat each other
Mm-hmm.
and figure out who's going to take on
Who's gonna be the
Japan's
yeah?
allied
Mm-hmm.
and then once you get to represent Japan, you get to take over the world. So,
Yeah.
and we already saw that they already got a little competition with the world's best.
Mm-hmm. So like
So it's not like
they have a taste of what the world has to offer, essentially.
hmm yes. So we know that they really are playing to win it, and they've been preparing for
Mm.
that, you know,
To send to
to
the
be
next
at that
level.
level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be at that level.
Yep.
So that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very looking forward to see how our ego boys achieve all this.
Yeah. And who he picked, who gets to be in the match too, right?
Yeah, because I'm sure
So
we're gonna
before
see another. combination, you know.
Yep.
It's always nice to see how they play off each other, what
Mm-hmm.
they take, take from each other, or you know, do for each other. We've
Ooh.
seen it with Nagi, and he's seen it with, um, you know,
S-
Brain
Yeah. Speaking
and the other
of that, right?
King and the others. So
Yeah.
we're
Speaking of.
gonna see these other two ones that are the captains from teams and see how they,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they what they're about. And
Yeah. Okay. So if you had to pick your starting 11, right? Let's not.
right.
Who are you picking? Just right now, before we really get into the midst of things.
Oh, before we even get to see, definitely Rin and Isagi.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Nagi.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, uh,
Or just pick
okay, so
two more,
I already have one, two,
three with Nagi.
three. I think I have four already.
Who else you pick?
So
So Rin, the
King,
King.
King,
Okay. Yeah. Uh huh.
and then I want to say that other guy, number two, and then lastly, I gotta go with Ichiba,
Who? Who?
the one that is going to do different teams, the one that is gonna play
Oh,
too.
Bachira.
Bachira, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Cool. You want to pick
And
another?
you?
Okay. So
Oh, I thought we said six.
yeah. Well, yeah. Six. So it's a
So it was
little
Isagi.
you
I
said
said number two, too.
yeah. Shido. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, how do you feel about their little confrontation that they had with
Oh,
Rin?
I mean, they're all front runners. They're all ego. They all have issues. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is just kind of seem like that's how they get along. So,
Yeah. Okay.
as long as he doesn't get in the way of
Of the match.
or whatever, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll
So
see how they
so
what
for
they
me,
do.
it's kind of unfair because I read the manga, right? So I think based on the skills at this range, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have picked Ashido because I know nothing of what he does, and I know nothing of what the other like four do, right, from the original top
Right.
six. So I would have picked Ren, Nagi, Isagi because he's our main boy, Bachira,
Mm.
Shigiri, the princess,
Yeah.
and probably Baro as well because like we know what Baro
Well.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Baro can do. But if I didn't pick Baro, I would have picked Leo, the Nagi's
Mm-hmm.
boy or ex boy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. The purple hair,
mm-hmm,
Rio.
mm-hmm,
Okay. Solid.
mm-hmm.
Rio's pretty good too.
Yeah. So like those, like
Rio's good.
Rio would be like the could slot it in for anybody in the top six except like
Yeah.
Isagi, Nagi, and Ren. But yeah, those would be my choice based on the story right now.
Right.
Okay, you want to talk a little bit about the overtime though?
Oh, I just really enjoyed their because this is the time that they're all cute
Mm-hmm.
and it's downtime, Usually they're so like on the defensive and
This is where their
and
personalities
out for
really.
each other,
Mm-hmm.
cutting throats and shit. It's always cute to see them um having
A normal
their
interaction.
bonding. They're a bonding like a normal bonding.
Mm-hmm.
So so those short clips are always so fluffy and good. So I sometimes don't even really even pay attention about what they're talking about more than just how they're talking to each other,
Yep.
or how they're treating like the vibes,
Yep.
they're
And the vibes for
they're
this,
having among each other.
yeah, the vibes are along this one are nobody likes Rin. That was the vibe.
Oh, Ren.
Rin is so misunderstood. He did nothing wrong. Our poor boy. Anyway, yeah, I enjoy the little overtimes, like you said. More character interactions are always nice. More personality that they show is always nice.
Yes, exactly.
And a show that does have lots of personality, though, Ranma.
Oh my goodness, Rama, I am so
All right, you take this away because I think you've seen the
happy.
original, right?
Yeah, I did.
Go ahead, take it away.
I
What do you like about it?
have loved the original always.
Mm-hmm.
Mappa did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving the colors and the animation. The animation, even though it's like super new, super
I want to say like
modern,
yeah, like I want to
it
say I seen the comparisons, right? And this they seem
but the style they still keep the style very
very
like the
similar.
old,
Very like
very similar style.
the art style is very
I love
similar,
that.
but the colors that they bring out are more vibrant.
Hmm.
So I did enjoy seeing comparisons of those.
Yes, so that was really, really, really amazing. And
Okay, talk to me about the episode.
the intro was great.
Oh, yes, I
The
love the intro.
music was amazing.
I love the
It
intro
was
too.
it was definitely having the vibe of the original too, keeping that vibe
Mm-hmm.
and the scenes that it was bringing. I really liked that they kept long hair kind of throughout all the scenes.
Oh,
Um,
so she
from
gets a haircut
the beginning.
later?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She like in 3 episodes, like, and she always had short hair throughout the whole
Ah,
series.
okay,
It's
cool.
like only at the very, very beginning that she has like
The long hair.
short
Oh,
hair. I
it'll be
mean long
really
hair. I mean.
yeah, it'll be really interesting, right? Because you mentioned that if after they get to that episode where she gets the shorter hair, that they start switching the
Yeah,
intro.
exactly. It will be interesting to see what they do if they're gonna change the the scenes
Mm-hmm.
or not. But or maybe they're gonna stretch it with her long hair. I'm not sure.
Mm,
So
yeah. Okay.
so we'll see. Maybe they'll switch that episode for way later, but you
Yeah.
know, um, so far it's like exactly the same as
Mm,
as the original in the manga. So so that was obviously great. So happy that our millennials are getting ours. Started with Fruit Basket,
mm-hmm.
Bison Wolf, now Ranma.
And
I'm really,
the
really, really
and the other
loving
one,
this
the one.
remix.
Yeah, these reboots are being nice. I do enjoy it, and I do like
Yeah.
this how this story kind of pans out, where it's like we're introduced to Akane relatively like first, right? And she's kind of like a tomboy.
Mhm.
She hates boys. She thinks they have cuties or whatnot. And
Mhm.
and lo and behold, the dad's like, "Oh, my daughters. I got a letter from one of my friends, and one of you is getting married
Very
to a lucky boy."
classic 90s like style of Japan too.
Yes.
Like I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it was great. We definitely get introduced to our main characters.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna get introduced to our side characters.
So
Can't wait to see them.
so
Shampoo and Ryoga
yeah. So like,
and the old and the pervert old man.
yeah.
What is
Uh.
his name?
So so for me, right? This being like, so I have a kind of like a thing where I seen an episode of this one time
Mm-hmm.
back in the Adult Swim days. I think I seen like an episode or two, right? But I had no idea because it brought me in the middle of an arc, right? So like I knew of the way he changes from woman to man,
Yeah.
But what caught me by surprise was that the dad was a panda.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was I'm like, why is he fighting a panda, right?
I know. I
Which
love that they put a panda.
yeah, and
Pandas are
I'm like, I'm like, okay, so this panda is like, do we are we getting explained what who this panda is or like what is it? Because I'm like, I'm watching it, I'm like, this panda seems to have like humans intelligence, right? And I'm like, he's kicking ass, and I love how they change the style when they're fighting, right? The art style changed a
it's
bit,
panda.
and man, this panda was like, they were going back and forth, and then the the dad, which is the panda, right, just decides to grab
Mm-hmm.
the stop sign and just whack his boy and knock him out.
Just
uh,
like in the original. So good.
I was like, oh shit, and he just dragged his ass to the.
All while it's raining and being sucked in the fucking rain.
Mm-hmm. And
That
we
was great.
yeah, and we get to the house and everybody's like, I thought he was supposed to be a boy, right? And they're like touching his chest or like it's
He thinks he's gonna get to fool them. Like, come on,
yeah.
boy. Like, how do
Mm-hmm.
you think? How long do you think
They really
that's
tried.
gonna last? Like,
Yeah,
be real.
I really like how
And
like
then because he couldn't you know, come forward, the whole bathroom incident had to happen.
oh, which
So
by the
they went
way,
into the
I saw the
nakedness.
comparisons for that, and the original had nipples. This one they just like decided no nipples, right? That's
Yeah.
how. So I was like, okay, that's one way to censor it, and it what I find really interesting is that the girl knows that it's a boy after, right? And next time when he goes in the bathroom, but he's in the body of in like a female form, right? She still whacks him, and they're all like, "Why'd you do that for? He was he's a woman. Yeah, he was a woman right now, right?" And she's like, "I don't care, like because he's like he's a pervert, right?" And yeah, I do like how her thing was like she doesn't want to lose to a boy, right? So the fact that he kind of like betrayed her by like fighting her as a woman, right? Kind of felt a little. I think he feels kind of like he belittled her a bit, right? Or like he tricked her in some shape or way. But of course, like to her it was kind of like, oh, I'm not strong enough. But I don't know if that comes back into play where she kind of feels a certain way after realizing she lost to a boy. They never really touched that up in this episode.
Yeah, their dojo fight was cute, but it
Mm-hmm.
was frustrating, obviously, for Akane.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Rama was trying to do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't trying to um beat her up or like really like
No, he
show
just
her or fight her, but
no,
he wanted
he
to
just
dominate
showed her
her.
like the difference in their skills essentially, right?
Yeah,
And the
and then like the first thing she said, right? She's leaving herself wide open, like at the
yep,
at the first stance.
yeah,
It
and
just really tells you the
yeah.
levels.
Mm-hmm. And that's also what I like because at first it's kind of like she said, "Oh well, it's just because you're it's because you went and trained in all over China, right?" So that was how she internalized the difference in their skill. But now that she knows that he's a boy, I wonder if like that changes things, where it's kind of like, "Oh well, you have the upper hand because you're a man now, right?"
Right.
That's where I'm kind of getting at if like that gets touched upon later.
Hmm.
And I like the dad in some fight when they're in the springs. You know, that was really cool how they were like kicking and blocking each other until they threw each other in different springs and this the
They're definitely at each other's throat.
and like the father threw the son in the where a woman a young lady died, and that's why he's cursed to be a woman now. And the
Oh yeah,
father, yeah, and then the father,
the curse ponds that they fell into.
yep, and then the father got cursed by a panda that died in that lake. So
From 1,500 years or 2,000 years. Oh my
yep,
God, tragedy.
tragedy, tragedy indeed. Oh man, yeah, I see this. So when I was watching it, I'm like, oh, this is so entertaining. Like I loved it. Like,
Yeah, it is entertaining. It's very comical.
mm-hmm. I
There's gonna be a lot of fights. It's gonna be a lot of romance, but at
yeah.
the same time, none get developed. It's it's fun. It's a fun watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
So
agree. And that covers
I like the ending,
the ending.
the animation of a canyon in the ending. It was very very cute.
Mm,
The
I don't
style.
I don't think I paid attention to the ending, but
Oh, you'll see it. It's very simple.
okay.
I
Well,
like
I
it.
can't wait. I can't wait to take a look at it. Now, I know I haven't gotten around to it, but do you want to tell the people about Blue Exorcist?
Oh yes, so I'm glad um after so many years they're giving us the first part, which was like not last season but the season before,
Mm-hmm.
I believe spring.
Yeah.
And now we're getting the second core. Oh wow. I think finale, the season finale. So we're gonna go get to see the how our story wraps up and ends. And I'm really looking forward to it because it's about a story about a world a world of um demons
Yeah.
and just having priestess powers and there's and the reason there's demons is because of Satan and like the demon lore.
Mm-hmm.
So and our MC happens to be the son of this Satan guy, but he was abandoned or he was taken by a priest. It's still like unknown the relationship or
Right.
what happened with it. But the thing is that the seed of Satan or the son of Satan got got raised by a priest, and therefore this demon or this Satan kid is becoming an exorcist, and
Right.
that's why it's called Blue Exorcist because he has the blue flames of the devil,
Yep.
but he's he used to use it against his own people against the devils. I mean the
Yeah.
demons.
Yep.
So yeah, so the story just goes, and he has a twin brother who
Yeah.
is basically the opposite of him, which means he's perfect.
Yeah.
And but it makes you why he's not a demon or a devil too, but you get to be explained that for that reason. Like, what is the relationship really with
Right.
the with Satan for him too.
Yeah. All right.
So very good, very good.
You want to
They
talk
have
about
this whole like
so?
Illuminati aspect of it.
Huh?
So yeah, good
All right.
watch.
But how about you want to tell them a bit about how you felt about the newest episode that aired?
Yeah, the newest episode. We got our our students because they're studying to become exorcists. One of them got kidnapped and we're trying to be experiment to bring back the demon lord because he died obviously when he got so Lucifer his other son or his
Mm.
like recognized son you can say is trying to bring him back so and create a world where demons have dominance of it so right now we're basically getting to understand that situation of what is happening and what are the bad guys after and what they're doing and and yeah.
Mm,
So it was a pretty good episode, picking up right where it left off, and then letting us know where they're gonna take it.
okay. Mm, pretty good. Sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, and you got in Bleaches today too.
Yeah, so I'll talk a
Oh,
little bit about the Bleach episode. Um,
okay, yeah.
so
It's the
the first like
anticipated one,
well, I've obviously heard Bleach, one of the
of
top
course.
three top three greatest shonen ever.
Yeah.
Kubo, amazing author, currently helping in production, and it really shows because this episode kind of starts off with like a small recap of what happened in the last episode. So really
Oh,
good, really good for like people that are coming in without rewatching it. I feel like on replay though, this is gonna kind of suck because now if you're like binge watching this,
oh
it
yeah, for
you
sure.
you're gonna want to skip like 5 to it was probably like 8 minutes of the episode, right? So
Okay, at least not the whole episode.
no, and I say 8 minutes, but I'm exaggerating. It was probably like five. Um, but yeah, like we get to find out what the how strong like the main bad guys are. The the main guy essentially awakens his power. Finally, after 1,000 years, the prophecy's fulfilled, and it turns out he has like a broken ability that allows him to see in the future. And essentially, his subordinates are get also like strong as well because he's able to like select certain stuff from the future and delete them. So now the predicament that his subordinates were in is no longer their predicament. Now they were freed, and his successor, essentially the one he chose to succeed him, is took care of one of their last remaining uh, Zero Squad members, which is like one of the strongest people that were guarding God, essentially, of the three universes. So
Ooh.
so now our main character is like, how they have the main character always like lagging behind, so like he comes up and he's supposed to solve everything after he shows up. That's kind of like what's happening. The main character is on his way to like help them, but he didn't get there in time, so now he essentially gets tasked with stopping the main guy before
Mm.
he kills God, but he arrives there too late. uh the episode ends off with the main evil guy stabbing God. That's a brief synopsis for like, you know, in case you want to pick it up uh at some point. I don't want to spoil names or anything. Um and I also want to say that the opening for Bleach really good. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like the visuals were great. Um Bleach also had like a small celebration with like their 20 years. They did kind of like a reanimated some of like the fan favorite
Oh
scenes.
yeah, right.
So it was
It is a remake
uh
under the
I don't know if Bleach will get a remake, but it would certainly like if it looks anything like they did for the promo video, it would look nice. Um yeah, aside from Bleach, I did watch Rurouni Kenshin, the other one that I want to briefly talk about.
Which one?
Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I did not watch that one. You can talk about it though.
Okay, well, it's it's obviously the second season, so it's like right off after the first one, and it starts off so strong. Like we have like Kenshin who left and who has left, but it's like obviously we get a sense that he feels lonely after leaving, and his friends that he left behind kind of like contemplate and are trying to accept him leaving them behind essentially, and they all do it like in separate ways. Like his, I guess you can say like his first rival of the show, kind of like is angry with them, wants to kick his ass. So he's decided to like go and chase him to Kyoto, which is where he's heading off to face the kind of like the Slayer that's there, the true Hatosai or something like that. And then we have like his love interests. Um, the main girl that he was with the entire first season, kind of like down in the dumps, like wondering why he had to leave, and you know, she really got hit the hardest with him leaving, and she's depressed because
Yeah, I know that it's a little bit about a girl
mm-hmm,
and yeah, like a childhood son in a way.
yeah, she kind of reverted back to like a helpless child essentially after that, because she got hurt really bad because he actually said farewell to her, and that made her hurt even more than him just like not saying anything to her apparently, right? And then we have the other one-sided love that comes up and basically smacks her right into saying like, you at least got to say farewell to him. I didn't get that option, you know. And they're like essentially like love rivals, so that kind of like helps her like get ready to like go and chase after Kenshin. And
Mm-hmm.
Yamako, not is it Yamako? No, the little student that she has that's also uh like apprentice kind of like to Kenshin, right? Kenshin kind of like guide
Okay.
is the one that kind of is like, you know, you're the only one that he actually cared enough to say farewell to, which means you're the only one that can call him to bring him back, right? So we kind of need you to go with us to Kyoto. And,
Okay.
yeah, and meanwhile, the first rival, basically he, as he's trying to like uh go to Kyoto, he gets stopped by one of the guys that's gonna join Kenshin to face off against the group that they're trying to destroy. And he gets to like beat up the rival. Us, the rival kind of like is like all fists and all goody two shoes. And the guy basically shows him, you're gonna go there and you're gonna fight for your life, right? So it's like, this is not playing fair. And
Wow.
what really like set it off is that this is the guy that injured him in the previous season, so he knows that his injuries haven't
Mm.
healed, so he attacks it. He attacks it first off, right, to show him like, this is the kind of thing you're gonna encounter there, right? And that wasn't
Yeah.
enough to deter him. So what happens next is like, okay, so I'll fight you in your same level. And he doesn't use the sword anymore. He uses his hands and puts a beating in them again,
Oh.
right? And at long last, like uh Sonosuke is able to like catch one of the hands and injured it a bit, and the guy backs off, right? And it's like, okay, well, if you want to die so badly, go do it yourself. But in doing so, like, Sonosuke, the rival, kind of realizes he really was fighting me on my level, because after he said that, he never attacked my injuries once. And it kind of pissed him off even more. Like, you're gonna even baby me at the end, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, with the stuff that happened with the girl crying towards the end, and seeing Kenshin kind of have because the last scene is him like catching a butterfly, right? Which is essentially like showing us that he's still like he has his innocence, right? It's also kind of like looming as to whether he's gonna have to lose that innocence later. And yeah, that was Rurouni Kenshin.
That's good.
Mm.
That's definitely a shoujo, like hardcore old shoujo classic.
Yeah, which is also another one that we didn't mention that also got rebooted, which is really good. Obviously,
Yeah, exactly. It's also one of those remakes.
Yeah,
that
needed.
it was done before but never finished.
Which
It's finally gonna get its ending. So
yeah. I mean, I think
that's good.
that's it. That's all we got to.
Yeah, I think those are it. I think I cover everything.
Yeah,
Watch.
yeah. The only thing is, we got more shows showing up next week that we both decided
Right.
we're gonna start. Um, we'll there's no ReZero review this time, but for
Oh,
for
yeah,
next for next.
Easter is gonna have to wait since it's an hour
Mm-hmm.
long one.
Yeah.
We're
So.
gonna do it with our top one. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be Tower of Goddess and yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do that for that, and I just want to say, like, thank you everybody that watches. Keep liking, commenting, subscribing, share all that good stuff, and
Yes. Thank you for anyone that is um Japping and Japping. We definitely like to talk about what we watch and of what we're watching. So
yeah.
um
Thank you, and
thanks for anyone.
thank you and coming, and see you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.